up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid
I'm
hot.
fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
What up, dope people? Hey, man, victory week, Thanksgiving week, game week, everything wake up here, man. It's Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off today with the WUW Crew. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder, man. Continue to crush Woodward, man. He has a show tomorrow morning, huh?
Yeah, this is a very quick turnaround. It just seemed like we were breaking down the game against the Colts, and now we got to preview the game against the Bears. Instantaneously.
While our other teams are winning, too. Hopefully they keep this up, man, so we get all 4 teams in the playoffs.
There's one team that lost last night.
Oh, who was that?
MSU.
Oh, I saw something about that. It was a little blurb that just came across the notification pane.
That's all right. Michigan's got their game tonight.
Did you just hear a Sparty? I think I just heard a Sparty. What was that?
And we don't need to talk about that.
We'll see how it plays out when we get into conference season, of course. But hopefully you guys can make a bowl game this year.
Hey, you know, it's your boy Brandon Day, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Flannel Sam, our Red Wings correspondent, all sports knower, vet of the squad, and the network. Again, welcome to Wake Up Woodward chat family. You guys are the most important part of this thing, so go on ahead and smash that like. But let's run it up. And in light of Thanksgiving, it's Thanksgiving Eve, right?
Yes.
Hey, just want to know, chat family, put it in the chat throughout the show. We need your serious responses too, but don't let me down because we need your funny ones and your sports ones. What are you thankful for? This year, all time, what are you thankful for? I'll cheat me, the WUW Crew, man. But my kids, you know, I had a new addition this year in February. Literally had the baby on a Saturday, and we started Wake Up Woodward on Monday. So it's almost like one in the same, man. My family, my blood family, as well as my Wake Up Woodward family. Thankful.
Oh, yes, I appreciate that. Thankful for you guys as well. Thankful for the opportunity to do this. I certainly remember when I was a much younger version of myself, listening to people like Mike Valeni and hoping that I would one day get to be my own version. And I think I'm getting there. I'm obviously not there yet, but it's been a really fun year and a half.
T-Foss, to doing shows and working with T-Foss, sharing beers with T-Foss. That's crazy experiences. Sharing basketball games, at least for me, and talking Pistons, breaking down Bad Boys with Terry Foster.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. I even had some screaming matches with Terry Foster, which is something.
Right.
But you know the great thing about him? There was one show that I did, which was probably my most fiery ever. It was at a golf course. I almost had a heart attack on air, where afterwards I was actually a little bit nervous. Like, man, I hope T-Foss doesn't think I'm an actual insane person, but he was cool with it. So I was like, damn, I'm thankful for that for sure.
I love T-Foss, man. Just a definite supporter. And you know what? Our guest today, Rod Beard, and we're going to switch up some timing today. Thankful for him. When I think about, I met Isaiah Thomas this year, but it was because of Rod Beard. He set that up, and he told me how to act too. And he got me right, man. He always gets me right. Like, I don't ever really say some of these things on camera, but like I called Tom Gores Mr. Gores at the press conference. I didn't know that was a no-no. He was like, look, you're media, bro. Like, you call that man Tom. He is Tom. We know he's the owner of the company, but he is Tom. The coach is JB. This is that. And to kind of give you those things and those tips and those pointers, even though he's at the Detroit News, it's just like, wow, he's just a guy that wants others to be better. And I'm thankful for that.
Oh, yeah. And Rod Beard has been a very nice addition to the show, and that is putting it lightly. And just so you guys know, today we're changing things up a little bit when it comes to the time. We're having Rod Beard on from 8:15 to 8:45 instead. He's got some other obligations, but he was nice enough to work us into his busy schedule, so I am certainly thankful for that.
Hey, shout out to the rest of the WUW Crew as well, man. It's like when I just look around at the team, man, I can't do nothing but smile, man. Cavassier Chase, what up, though, brother?
Hey, what up, Joe? Happy early Thanksgiving to everybody. Shout out to all my family, everybody in the chat, the whole WUW Crew, everybody else here at the network. Like all my teachers, I got a laundry list of people, and like moments I'm thankful for. Could spend, probably the full 8 hours that we spend on air throughout the day just talking about that and different people and moments that have impacted me. So thank you to all of them, and I hope we have a great show today.
Man, do you guys realize what you guys represent? Right before I introduce that dude, Justin, it's like it is exactly what we talk about up here. When we say that the chat family matters to us, it matters. Like you guys were supporting a lot longer before, like you actually became members of Woodward Sports. So, hey, I appreciate it, man. Glad to have you guys here. That dude, Justin, in the building for the whole week.
Yes,
Definitely
sir.
thankful. What up, though?
I am just uber thankful. I mean, to land my way into this position, to be able to show off my work ethic and rise and continue to impress people, and then just to meet so many cool people. I mean, I met so many members of the chat family. I have had great interactions with them. I mean, through Woodward Sports, I've met, Brian Branch, Terrion Arnold. I work on a show with Darren McCarty. It's surreal.
Bro, you got your interview with the GOAT, Jack Fox?
Yeah.
Come on.
Shout out Jack Fox. But it's surreal, and I can't be thankful enough for the support I get from chat family. It helps a ton, and then the support I get from you guys, and I mean, you can't forget Jumbo Boobies. So sorry, Chase just bet me I wouldn't say it.
I told him I'd buy him a coffee, so that's what he was
I
thankful
tried
for.
desperately, man. I'm glad
That's
I succeeded
hilarious.
not to spit my tea all over the computer. Oh my gosh, that was a moment too. You clip the show. Please clip that. That has to go on our Wake Up Woodward Hall of Fame. Oh my gosh, Jimbo.
Oh my God.
Jumbo Booby Smooth.
The elite booth, man. Hey, KG, that's Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth. Black Hollywood, another day, another crispy hat. What up, though, brother?
Yeah, man. Can we just get to the food already, man? I'm over all this holiday shit. I'm ready to get to the food in my Lions, man. Just it is what it is. But no, I'm very thankful for a lot of things, man. I'm thankful to Woodward Sports because December 1st will be my official 1 year of being here. And man, it's been a year, man. I done seen Michigan National Championship, Lions NFC Championship, man. And at the time this job came along, I was struggling, not really knowing what my next direction was. But thankfully, I got the opportunity here. I don't take it for granted that I get to do shows with sports legends. And y'all, y'all have embraced me from the minute I got here, man. And y'all saw shit in me that I ain't even, seeing myself. No, just being real.
From
real.
the get-go, man, it was all about support. That's why I love Woodward Sports in general.
Yeah.
I will always give a lot of love to, obviously, the show that we're on, but this is about Woodward Sports. And you got here and you supported Woodward Sports and everybody here. It wasn't even about fitting in. It was about, like you heard Justin saying, what we know Justin and Chase do was the work ethic. You entered here and it was just about supporting. And glad to have you here, man.
Well, I work hard wherever I go, but I want to be passionate about what I'm doing at the same time, man. And, the way y'all welcomed me here and y'all showed me that, I can put myself out there a little more because before this, I was really behind the scenes and a lot of the work I was doing. And I always felt I could maybe get on a platform like this. I was a fan of Woodward Sports like them before I came here, but never in a million years did I think it would be like it is today. So shout out to y'all, and I appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. That is JB Smooth.
Jay Bizzle.
What up, dog?
Man. The whole booby thing is gonna stick, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Jumbo Boobies.
I truly do feel like it is, but dude, I'm
Jatumbo.
truly thankful for Jumbo Boobies as well too. But I'm also thankful for everyone in our chat family and especially you guys here on the desk. I know the morning show has gone through its ups and downs, but yet still we stay fighting, we stay surviving no matter what. We're still going to try to go out there and put on an amazing show for you every single morning regardless. So I'm thankful for all the people that are in our chat right now, every single one of you guys here in studio as well too. And I'm thankful that I get to do a show and have known Braylon Edwards, Darren McCarty, like all the sports figures that come into this building right now. Like Woodward Sports has opened me up to just getting to meet a lot of these people, and I'm just thankful for that opportunity right now.
Definitely,
Promise
man.
not to drop the ball.
You know what? Look, man, I'm thankful to the ownership group. I'm thankful to everybody who was here before, everybody who's contributed to this, even if they're not here now. You know, obviously thankful to you guys. Thankful to Broder, Matthew Broder, who we started this platform with. And just the way that you guys, again, said, we want Kool-Aid to have this opportunity too. We think he deserves it. Even though, like KG said, I don't believe that sometimes. I'm just in here trying to be cool, trying to make sure that we support, and something special happened. And I'm grateful to that, man. Shout out Sticks, shout out Joey as well. And I see Burn here, $10 super chat. Happy Thanksgiving to Woo, Chat, and Woodward Sports in lovely Detroit, Michigan. Mick Foley thumbs up and a camera wink. Hey, I love that. Anything else you're thankful for, brother, before we jump into things?
Well, I'm thankful we're about to talk to Rod Beard.
Let's go.
That is for sure. But before we move on to that, I first have to shout out those who have paved the way, like the Jeff Iafrades and the Lucas
Shout out to
Klotzes
Jeff,
and Adam Baydoons of the world. I wouldn't be here without them, and I was thankful to work with them. But I'm also thankful to have this, not even this new crew anymore. I've been doing this longer than I was on the previous version of the morning show. But thankful for everybody who has came through, and thankful that I get to work with you guys every day now, and we transitioned and are really hitting our stride.
I'm glad you mentioned those three people, because each one of those people had some role to do in me having success here.
Sure.
You know, so it's like, man, so thankful to a lot of different people, this journey and where it's going. And I'm hoping ultimately that everybody out there is eating and finding their path to success, man.
Yep.
Definitely. And again, chat family, we're thankful for you guys, man. Definitely thankful for you all. The fact that WUW Crew is even here, there was a time when we were getting started, we were wondering, like, where things going?
Right, is this shit gonna last?
We don't know, like, hey, you know, we had a good 3 months here, and you know what? Awesome, but to still be here, to see what the teams are doing right now, to be accepted by you all, it's I can't even really quite put it into words, and I like to talk.
Yes. And of course, one of the constants on the previous versions of the show, somebody who I came in pretty similarly with, JB, of course. One of the OGs.
Yes,
sir.
I'm sorry. You know what? Michael Danye. I appreciate you, man. Michael Danye looking out for us. I'm thankful for Lady James, Planet Fitness, 1800, and the law firms, LOL. I'm thankful to all of our sponsors.
Right. Big thanks to the sponsors.
Thank you. All of them, man. All of them. I know you're going to hear from a lot of them throughout the show, man. Shout out to Corey Woods, too. Shout out to Corey. Yeah, and I've heard from some people like him behind the scenes that they are rooting for us. Dr. Darius, all of our guests. So, man, we could do this all day long.
Yeah,
but chat family, definitely continue to get what you're thankful for into the chat. We want your serious ones, we want your funny ones, we want your sports ones. I think I saw a Sheila Hamp one.
Oh yeah,
definitely thankful for her.
Sure.
So, but you know what else I'm thankful for? Second Best Bar, where the best Detroit Lions pregame party is. Hey, look, you got Woodward Sports in the building. Cavassier Chase is there. So you guys already know it's about to be a grand experience. He's going to make sure that you guys get up on socials, right? Right?
Yeah.
There you go. He's going to make sure of it. He's going to get the content. That dude, Justin's probably going to be one of those ones doctoring it up, or Travis. And then we're going to post it, and it's going to go viral because Detroit is awesome. That's how it goes. Second Best Bar, 42 Watson Street. Enjoy a little bit of smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show only at Second Best Bar. Come get some.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Are you overdue for a new car? And by the way, before I continue more on this, we had a winner for someone who outkicked his coverage yesterday, who had himself a heck of a mustache. So congratulations to you. But now you can beat the holiday rush and get an amazing deal from Les Stanford Chevrolet. Right now, a Blazer EV2 LT with all-wheel drive is only $149 per month. That's insane. I can't even believe I'm reading that. Or check out the
Plus
Equinox EV LT for only $169 per month.
Plus tax.
That's facts. Get to Les Stanford today or click on the QR code on the screen and check out our massive inventory. Don't forget Les Stanford has Cadillac, Buick, and GMC as well. Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale. LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive.
Hey, what up, dog people, and welcome back again. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we're going to continue to just show off the beauty of Detroit, man. I'm going to get downtown shots. I'm going to get, all of the different neighborhoods as well. We're going to even get some of the outskirts because we're going to start to disprove those narratives that people say, oh, yeah, it's just, someone told me, oh, yeah, go a block away from Woodward. You for real? Like, serious? We had a whole draft here with 250,000 people in the city.
It was really 1 million. Let's just be real.
It was really more than that.
I will remember that day for the rest of my life. I can't believe I lived through it.
Thankful? Yeah. I'm thankful to be in Detroit, man. And you know what? I'm shout out and thankful to Jesse. I know that Jesse also was coordinating that the Woodward's holiday party as well.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes.
Shout out Jesse, man. He the one that hired me, man. Shout out Jesse.
You know what? I think a lot of us can be thankful to Jesse.
No, yes.
Yes.
Shout out Jesse.
He don't miss that Lady James. I say that.
Hey, you know what? Let's get this drum roll going, man, because it is time for the legend. Hey, yo! Shout out and welcome to the legend. Detroit News. Rod Beard. What up, though, brother? Thankful to have you on, man.
Oh no!
All right.
We'll get it right.
Damn.
We'll get it right because listen, we got a few questions for Swish or Brick.
Yo, good
or
job.
Swish or Break. We got a couple questions, man, and I really want to be able to get Rod Beard's perspective on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But first, hey, while we are working to get him back on the line, let's play that Jay and Ivy shot just one more time for the Woodward Pistons family as well. And I know we got a whole lot more Detroit Lions on the way as well.
Yeah,
let's rock, man.
Stressed by that and would have had a hard time bouncing back. How did you?
Golly!
Go on, Tim.
You really good.
You
really good.
Get some rest, boy.
Hey, what up, though, people? Hey, are you with us? Oh, no audio yet. No audio yet. Listen, we'll continue. We will continue. Or we can have you
phone call.
Give him a call. Dope. We'll do that. We'll patch him in because this is the question that I want to be able to ask the people and ask you all is this. Is it time to update our expectations for the Detroit Pistons?
Ooh.
Because I know how we entered the season. I said 28, 30, maybe 32 at the most. But then as we got closer to the season, I said, listen, you guys have me as a fan feeling more optimistic. My logic is telling me keep it right here. That is a nice jump. It's doubling their wins. But everything that we see right now in terms of how the East is starting to shake out and where the Pistons are, after an 0-4 start, and they kind of caught their stride. You're talking about after the first 8 games of the season, they have been in the playoffs, and they have not dipped out of the playoffs since.
Yeah.
Is it time to update our expectations for them?
I want to say yes. Let me just say one thing to temper them a little bit, because I don't want to be in a situation where if they win, 32 games or something, that it's a failure. I would just say that we saw what the team looked like at Orlando with Cade Cunningham out. a Paolo Banchero-less Orlando Magic team. They didn't even really look like they belonged on the same court. And then while it was a really nice win against Toronto, it was the Raptors. They're terrible. They did get Scotty Barnes back, but it was a 2-point win, which was great and it was needed. We have to take into account health. So I'm still at the point to where if it's a 32-win season, I think that you still have to count that as somewhat of a success. Although I would say between 35 and 40, and we're feeling really, really great about things.
As things sit right now at their current pace, 32, 33 actually might get them into the play-in, which would be kind of a crazy convergence of things. But that's where, as I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the squads beneath them, I'm just like, I feel like we should hold them to this. I know it gets difficult sometimes when we try to ask the coach to put a win-loss total or, hey, what is your expectation? They always are going to give us a coach speak of development, of growth, of we want to see them doing these things the right way because we're just now getting started. But in reality, if I see that, talk about with Kid Kool-Aid, if I know that he can carry a little bit more groceries, I'm not going to have him just carrying one. We all know how it gets. Eventually, we make the trip from car to home in one trip. All the groceries on all the arms. So it's like, and that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I want to see the progress, and if I know that he can get there, sure. But I want to see you win too.
Yeah.
I want to see you win, and that's where I'm just like, regardless of what I want to see, they are 8-11. They are in playoff positioning still, and they look a lot better than a lot of the other teams, not just beneath them, but even ahead of them.
I will give one caveat before we go to Rod Beard. If Cade Cunningham plays 70 or more games, they're making the play-in. I'll just say that right now. If he plays 70 or more games, they're making the play-in.
I'm glad you said that because as we talk expectations, that's going to be one of the larger ones. Is what do we expect out of this team? And that's where I will say, if he's healthy, yes. And part of our swish or brick is going to be about how they protect those expectations if we're going to rise. Because I don't think that they're in a position where they can just settle right now. I like what I see. But I also think that we're also seeing some things as we talk about expectations that aren't necessarily going to be conducive to them being able to punch a ticket to the play-in, even if K plays those 70.
Fair enough.
We're going to try them one more time, I think, on video, and if not, we'll get them. Okay.
Let's see if we can try this.
All right.
Right.
All right, gentlemen. This has to be it.
Yeah.
This has to be
that one is it. Thankful for technology, even though sometimes I am not. But for Rod Beard, I am always thankful. Brother, thank you for making the time and for accommodating. It's a Wednesday, and we get to see our brother. First and foremost, how are you doing on this Thanksgiving Eve?
We got to get this newspaper out today. We've got a little early deadline today, so we're doing the 8 o'clock hour to make this thing work.
Man, that's so awesome. That's the backdrop there, huh? Not the news?
Yeah, this is our wonderful spacious office situation we got here.
That's for, look, man, as a kid, I grew up just reading the Detroit news after every single, every morning I had to go and read that thing, especially after Piston games. So it's like seeing this now, getting the stats, seeing the columns, getting the high school sports and everything, and seeing stats and such in the paper, it's like, it's dope. So to see this experience is just bringing
Hey, man,
back.
you're in the room where it happens. You're in the media room after games. You already living the dream. Thankful for that.
But I am very thankful for that. Very thankful, especially for the role that you and others have played in that too. It's cool to see my guys around me starting to embark on that journey as well. But Rod, you know what? With the Detroit Pistons, I got to have your thoughts on if we should be changing the Detroit Pistons expectations. You have helped me to be able to look at every season. Are there 5 teams that they are better than? That's where we start every year.
Yeah.
And right now, not only do they look better than 5 teams, and to me, I believe the expectations could change and look better than 6 teams to me.
Right. It's where you started. I mean, some people were in the 30s. Some people said 40, whatever. If you were in the 30s to 40s range, I think you can kind of stick where you are. If you were in the high 20s where I was, you can maybe ratchet that up just a little bit because they're playing a little bit better and they're not losing to they're losing to some of these teams that are on that same plane, the same level, but they're beating some of the teams that are a little bit above that. So they're treading water. They're doing, I mean, if you're sitting around 500 at the 20 game mark and you're sitting there about 40 games in, you can say you're in the hunt for a play-in or a playoff spot, either way.
Yeah, yep, definitely. And you know what? It was good to see the Detroit Pistons have that victory that they did against the Toronto Raptors. It was the Raptors. They are not the best of teams. But we saw the Detroit Pistons lose games like that last year, and Jaden Ivey was the focal point of the offense the entire game. He started well, ended the game well, obviously with that last shot, and it was awesome to see them have that victory. How big do you think it is for them, even without especially without Cade Cunningham, to see Jaden Ivey be able to step up and be that type of a player?
Every single one of those moments is important. Every single one. Because, and Kay talked about this too, you're not used to losing like this. Jaden Ivey's used to hitting shots like that in high school and college, hitting shots like that win games. And when you play so hard and you have nothing to show for it, that's tough on the psyche. So to be able to hit a shot like that, to win a game like that, to keep them somewhere around 500, because the thing that can derail this season is to go on a long losing streak. And they get back into those old habits and start thinking about last year again, where you lose 3-4 in a row and here we go again. But if you can end a losing streak that way, and you can start piling up a couple wins here and there, you don't have to go on a 20-game win streak. But if you win 3 in a row, lose 2, win 3 in a row, guess what? You're above 500.
Yeah, right. And I wanted to ask you this because, it's almost December now, and we have a decent sample size of Pistons basketball. What are still some things that you would like to see this team improve on going forward?
I think it's just the overall chemistry and just how you go from the starting unit to that bench unit. That just doesn't always feel seamless to me, that there's some drop-off from one group to the next group. The health I want to kind of see be a little bit better too. Obviously, you can't do a lot without Cade. You can't reach all of your goals without Cade. And I want to see Tobias play a little bit better too.
Man, what?
We've talked about this in the past few weeks, that they're doing this despite him not playing well. If he actually got into that 20-point-a-game range, the sky's the limit on what this team could be.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? We're gonna get into our swish or break. Swish
Swish
or
or
break
break?
time. Hey, listen, we got
Swish or
three.
break?
Listen, we have three statements. 3 statements to protect the Pistons' expectations. And if KG has a bonus one, I will allow it.
All
Definitely, if the time permitting.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can cook one up.
All right, let's get into this thing. KG's going to read off the statement, try and make the case. We go around the room, and then we'll get the Legends take.
All right,
let's go.
Statement 1 in swish or brick or swish or break, whatever your preference. Jaden Ivey needs to be the focal point of the Pistons scoring. Swish or brick.
Now, that's not necessarily the focal point of the offense or how it is initiated.
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham, still the initiator, still get his points, still have his bag. But Jaden Ivey being the focal point of the score.
So the first scoring option.
Yep.
Okay.
We go with Flannel?
Brick.
Ooh.
And this is with all due respect. I love what I saw from Jaden Ivey last night. It's just that Cade Cunningham he's just a better player. Obviously, we know he's a better facilitator. He's bigger. He finishes better at the rim. I think he ultimately ends up being a better shooter. And I don't see Jaden Ivey, despite, again, what he did last night. I'm not trying to be on my hater game right now. I don't ever see him being like a 25-point-per-game guy. And I do see that from Cade. I think he could get that this year, honestly. He's at 23.5 already.
Ooh. JB Smooth.
I gotta watch out. I don't know. Stick might be
right. He
behind.
might be lurking.
If I say one bad thing about Ivy, I'm just saying. But this is a brick for me, just because I need to see it consistently from Ivy, and I don't think he's that dog type of scorer that I would like to see for the Pistons. Not to say Cade is that, but he seems to be a little bit more aggressive. So this is a brick for me.
Hey, Cavassier Chase, we got that dude Justin. What's up with Cavassier Chase? What up, though?
What up, though? Can I get the full question again real fast?
Hey, yeah, listen.
Yeah.
Jaden, you got it?
Yep. Jaden Ivey needs to be the focal point of the Pistons scoring. So the first scoring option.
So not necessarily the main facilitator, which would still be Cade Cunningham, but the main scorer, the first scoring option.
Swish. I think he's the most dynamic athlete we have as far as what the NBA is looking for, as far like with guards and wings. Like his slashing and athleticism. If he can finish at the rim a little bit better, which, I mean, he did with that game winner.
That dude, Justin?
I'm going to say it's a brick. I think Cade will always be the main facilitator on this team.
KG?
I'm going Swish, especially maybe not so much right now, but as the season goes along, Jaden Ivey absolutely needs to be the number one scoring option because that's going to open up so much more for Cade Cunningham in this offense, man. For him to not have to necessarily worry about being the first direct scoring option, I think that's huge for the team if they can get that out of Jaden Ivey. And I disagree with Sam. If Jaden Ivey continues to develop, I can see him being a 20 point per game guy in this league. I can.
Hey, it's on the legend. What up, though? Mr. Rod Beard.
It is a brick. You can't have an offense that is reliant on one or two people. The offense and the chemistry that I just mentioned, that needs to be the number one option because one day it might be Tobias, one day it might be Tim, one day it might be Malik. You don't know on a given day. In the interim, I will agree with KB, though, that you can ride while he's still hot, but you can't rely on him and say he is that guy because he has so many more bad games where he hasn't shot the ball well than he has really good games.
And you know what? You said something there about the team chemistry.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's dependent. We might have a question later on the Swisher break that could remedy that.
You also said KB, so I was confused when you talking about KG or JB. There's two of them.
KG. KG, my bad.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Let's
go. The next statement in Swisher Brick, Cade Cunningham is an all-star, period. He needs to make the all-star team, Swish or Brick.
Hey, listen, the numbers are there. The team is in playoff positioning. Cade Cunningham has absolutely... Last year, we saw him kind of at this kind of 9-10 range. This year, we see him as it relates to efficiency, as it relates to his scoring, as it relates to his assists and his facilitation. He's taking a leap to now where he's outranking guys like Tyrese Halliburton, who he used to rank behind in some of these same metrics and numbers. Cade Cunningham, he's just an all-star, period. What say you?
I am going to go Swish with one slight caveat.
So this is like a rim in.
Okay, fine. Around the rim and in. Because obviously I'm the biggest Cade fan that I know. He needs to get back on the court, and he needs to, I would say, improve his efficiency just a tad. He's had a couple, I mean, the last game he played, he was 9 for 26, 2 of 9 from 3. You can't continue to have those games. And another caveat, LaMelo Ball's going to get in. He's putting up big numbers. But I still think there's going to be room for both when it's all said and done. So I am going to go maybe like around the rim and in.
I want to actually see them in the backcourt together. That's what I want to see.
That'd be crazy.
That would be nice.
But all-star game, that would be wild. JB Smooth, what up, though?
That would be very nice, but I have to agree with Flannel as well, too. This is a switch for me. It's Cade's time, man. It's enough said. He needs to be put in there.
Cavassier Chase, that dude, Justin. What say ye?
Do you want to go first, Justin?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm going to say yes. I think he finds a way in there. I think the Pistons being...
Fired up.
He's not going to get that Detroit curse. The Pistons are good enough where I don't think it's going to affect him.
I don't think I'm going to say Brick, and this isn't like... this isn't based on anything personal. I just, like, you guys mentioned LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
Which I think Jalen Brunson's likely going to be an all-star. I'm just looking at who else possibly could be ahead of him.
Donovan Mitchell.
And I don't know if the league and the national media are going to show as much love to the Pistons that they necessarily deserve with the growth they've shown. So I'm going to say just nationally, he's not going to get the recognition he deserves.
I can understand that. I think that's where if you have an opportunity to change the narrative with that NBA Cup, you started off 2-0.
Yep.
That becomes very, very, very big because you can't leave out Cade Cunningham from the All-Star game if he's basically in the Pistons take that NBA Cup or they finish really, really well.
Yeah, if we keep winning and we can win those big games, like you said in the NBA Cup, it definitely
your narrative is a lot more.
He makes that case.
KG.
Hey, from half court, count that baby in a foul, man. What is we talking about? And to be honest, Cade should have been an all-star last year, but if the Pistons hadn't only had, 6 wins around that time, then maybe he would have got denied. So I do kind of agree with what Chase is saying, but Cade is different this year, man. He's turned into a triple-double machine. He's doing way more for this team, and the Pistons are in a better position from the jump. So I think he definitely is an all-star reserve at the least.
Hey, the legend. What up, though?
I will partially agree with KG.
Yeah.
And say it is a foul, but you never know what the shot looks like. And for the same reasons, because we talk about 5 teams that they got to be better than to make the playoffs. He's got to be better than 5 other guards to make it. So, or they're probably going to be 5 or 6 guards that make the All-Star team.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson's there, LaMelo's there, so and Donovan Mitchell is there. He's got to be better than 2 other guys to make the All-Star team, and that's going to be the question. Are the voters going to say we want LaMelo and Cade to make the All-Star team? 2 young guards. That's going to be the big question here.
Ooh, man, I like that. Let's get into this last one because you mentioned something earlier about how this offense is currently designed, and that the offense depends on who's the hot hand that night. But there's some players in the league who they can be the hot hand every single night. Let's get that last question.
Yes, sir. Last statement in Swish or Brick. Levine, as in Zach Levine, Ingram, as in Brandon Ingram, or another star the Pistons need to... Levine, Ingram, or another star need to be on the Pistons by the trade deadline.
Oh,
we lost Ryan for a second.
Yep, so say that one more time.
Yeah, my bad. So Zach Levine, Brandon Ingram, or another star need to be on the Pistons by the trade deadline. Swish or Brick?
We're talking about these expectations for the Detroit Pistons. It was something that we covered going back to before last trade deadline, and the Pistons have flirted with the ideas of Zach Levine for a couple years because it's not just the shooting that Cade needs around him, but we've heard pundits also state that he needs a bona fide NBA scorer, a gunner, whether it's coming off the bench or starting next to him. And that's where names like Levine and Ingram have been attached to the Pistons, not just on our podcast, but also amongst other narratives and rumors as well. So I'll start with you, Flannel Sam.
Swish. Woo. At least for what they need. And I'll tell you what. The Pelicans are lifeless. They're done. Zion Williamson got hurt again. Brandon Ingram, unfortunately, has had some injuries.
Everybody hurt over there. Herb Jones, CJ McCollum,
Right.
everybody hurt over there.
The Bulls are one of the most directionless franchises in the NBA right now. They don't know what they want to do. If I'm Zach Levine, I actually think getting on the Pistons would inject him with some life.
Yeah, he's not cutting his foot off this year.
No. So I think it would be for the good of those players for them to go to the Pistons. Listen to what I just said. It would be good for the careers of Brandon Ingram and Zach Levine to go to the Pistons, who last year had 14 wins. The Pistons are a better situation than the Pelicans and the Bulls. Swish from half court, hell, from three quarters court.
Yes. Oh, you talking about that Rashid one?
Yes.
Hey, let's go. JB Smooth in the TD booth. What up, though?
This is a Steph Curry switch from the parking lot. Like, come on. We need someone else on this team. The Bulls are already selling off right now. They already said Levine is available. And the Pelicans, like, come on. I don't even know where you're going with this franchise. So, please, Pistons, pick up the phone. Call somebody. Get someone else over here right now. Pick up the phone, baby.
I'm intrigued here. I'm intrigued for Chase's answer, man. Chase, that dude Justin.
I don't like the combo. Like, if it's just Brandon Ingram, it's a swish. If it's Zach Levine, it's a brick. I'm just not a fan of Zach Levine. I think he's too old for our core, and I don't think he's a true long-term option for what we're trying to build.
He's on a heater right now.
That's cool, but he's also going to be 30 in March, and I don't think he's like what we need for this team in the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, what we're really building for with like our young guys. Like Jalen Duren's only 20. We want a 20-year-old and a 30-year-old.
What's the matter with Tobias having some friends on the team, man?
Right. They need veterans. Make no mistake, this Pistons team needs veterans, though.
Brandon
They need
Ingram's
the right
27.
veterans, but
okay.
So if anyone
That's
around,
some philosophy.
around that like 27, 26, but anything older than that, you're kind of like encroaching on like too old for like what we're building.
That dude Justin. I'm intrigued.
I'm gonna go with the swish because this team needs another star, and no matter Zach Levine's age, he is only under contract through 2026. So he doesn't necessarily fit our window of when we're going to be looking to necessarily win something. I'm assuming Kool-Aid 2 years is kind of the window where you're expecting us to actually have the pieces in place to make a playoff
Couple
run.
years. It aligns with Tobias's contract. It aligns with kind of their other contract windows as well as the contract extensions for Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren.
Yeah, so I think Levine doesn't hinder any of those things. I think he only can add and help this team as another scorer, another shooter for this roster. So I'm gonna say a swish. I would love Brandon Ingram more, though, I will say.
KG?
This is an NBA jam. He's on fire, Swish. They absolutely need somebody else in here because Tobias ain't it, man. I'm sorry. He can't be your third when you're trying to build what they're trying to build right now. Jaden Ivey is still developing into that, maybe first scoring option, second scoring option. So they need some more help scoring-wise. They do. And I feel like if they get the right veteran in here, the right star that can provide that presence, then that just opens up stuff for everyone else. But yeah, absolutely, they need somebody else.
Hey.
Brandon Ingram preferably.
Hey, and for the last question for the legend is 3, 2, 1. Swisher Brick.
KG is on a heater today. I agree with him on almost every point.
You see it?
I mean,
You see it?
Because if you get Zach LaVine, you're blocking Jaden Ivey's development. So you don't need Zach LaVine. You do need Brandon Ingram.
Yes.
And that's why you got Tobias on a short-term, reasonable contract because it's movable if something doesn't work out in the short term. So it's Brandon Ingram or other, but you need to make the playoffs this year to change the culture and trajectory of where this team is going.
Yes.
Doesn't matter who it is. And if you're doing this without another all-star, imagine if you go and get one, you can be a 5 or 6 or 7 seed in the East if you're able to do that. So I think this is a no question Swish.
Hey, well, you know what? That is Swisher Break for those that are in the higher echelon among us. But listen, the Detroit Pistons, they have a game tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies. They have to take advantage of this game. I know Triple J is in it. That's one of those players that I wish, Jaren Jackson Jr., that we could get in a Pistons jersey. I've been saying that for some years. Get that bit of the jersey somehow. Bring him home. But, there's no John Morant. He's supposed to come back in a couple days. Get the dub. Get the dub, Detroit Pistons, and continue this ascent for them right now. To be in the play-in at this point, 24% of the way through the season. It's interesting. The teams behind them, as we wrap up, Atlanta, Charlotte, Toronto, Philly, and Washington. The teams just ahead of them, Chicago, Brooklyn, and Indiana.
Got to be better than one. Just got to be better than one of those. That's it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be better than Brooklyn and Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
I think eventually it'll play out that way.
There are 6 teams that I believe this current Pistons team is better than. And that's what the Swisher Break was. The Swisher Break was themed around today. How do we keep this team along these expectations and maybe even more? Thank you again to the legend Rod Beard. Hey, you know what? We got him for
one more segment.
No. I think he might have to run.
Yeah.
Yep. But we are jumping into our Detroit Lions coverage.
KG is my surrogate today. We agree on everything today, so whatever he says, that's what I would say. Everything I would say.
Rod. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Rod, thank you so much for your time. I know you got to get to that meeting. Thank you for all that you've done for really all of us just on this show, keeping your time slot as we used to do the podcast during this time slot. Just Woodward Pistons. Now we have Rod Beard, his personality, his thoughts on all Detroit sports on the network, because he affords us this time and this opportunity. So thank you so much, Rod. Thank you from the crew. I don't know if you guys want to say anything, but I don't want to take your opportunity away to say something to Rod, but I wanted to make sure you knew that WUW Crew is thankful for you, brother.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Rod.
Thank you, Rod. You're a goat.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, you know what? And now we got to break down Lions and Bears, what everybody has been waiting for. Look at Kay Cunningham. He's just a chill guy. Kay Cunningham.
Just chill guy.
He kept going over to the scoring table during the Raptors game, and he just kept jawing at people sometimes. And I'm just like, I like this. My man wants to hoop. I loved it. That's what he was doing. Look at his face. He was pissed. That was during one of those plays where it was like blatant that something went against the Pistons, and they both jumped up off the bench and walked over. And you got the referees telling them, don't cross that line. And they looking down at the line, and they just stand back. And it's like, I like this fire right now because they got something to play for. So shout out to the Pistons, but obviously the Detroit Lions got a whole lot more to play for, man. And we got to get into it. Stick Radio. Ask Rod how right was Stick about Ivy.
Oh my goodness!
He's
on a generational run. Generational run of coming into the chat when Ivy is named. Generational.
Oh my word, man! You know what, JB? I think you got to tell us about New Holland, and then we got to break down the Detroit Lions and how they're going to BTA the FTB.
It ain't gonna be that hard.
See, I told you can't say Ivy's name without Stick popping up somewhere. So, but I gotta tell you about that New Holland Tangerine Space Machine, the new easy drinking IPA that is out of this world. It's smooth, it's juicy, but refreshing crushability. Take your taste buds to the moon with the Tangerine Space Machine. And I don't know if you guys know this, but this is the official beer of outer space. This is on tap on the moon right now, just in case you want to stop by and grab yourself one. Or you know what? Stop by any store and grab yourself a case today. Because you know what? The Lions play tomorrow.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Hey, it's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. They got 50+ Metro Detroit locations, which means if you get the Black Card membership, you can go to any one of these locations and any one of these locations throughout the United States. But if you just want to work out for the cheap and you got a home gym, the basic membership costs only $15 a month, and you can get at least enough amenities so that you can get in shape for the holiday season, for the new year, and then for the next summer Beachbody season, which will be here before you know it. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
What up, though, people? It is Wake Up Woodward chat family. Again, thank you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. Let's go ahead and run up those likes for Thanksgiving. I'm telling you, we will definitely be thankful for it. Let's go on ahead and thankfully satisfy that like button today.
Ooh,
you know what
okay.
I'm saying? We got to do it right, man.
We do.
You got to thankfully hit it nice.
Real nice and slow.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, before you stuff that turkey, I got one thing you can stuff, man. You can stuff your finger on that like button, man. Why not, man? Just go ahead and get in that mood. Lay back, chill. And while you listening to the WUW Crew, just tap that like button, man. Tap it a few times.
What up, though, people?
What up?
Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears. It's about to be BTA. That's what I expect for Thanksgiving. I expect to go have a good plate of mac and cheese. In my household, we call it black and cheese. There are differences.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Black and cheese, blackaroni, whatever you call it.
You know what I'm talking about. There's going to be some yams. There's going to be some sweet potato pie. There's going to be, wait, I got to have a vegetable. Do I have to have a real vegetable? I guess we'll have greens. That's a real vegetable,
that's
right?
a vegetable.
We'll have some real
Yams.
greens. And you know what? This is going to be a Thanksgiving where I am just sitting there enjoying the Detroit Lions for dessert, man. That's what I expect this Thanksgiving. It's been a long time since they've won on Thanksgiving. But this one, to me, sets up perfectly for them. I know they're dealing with some injuries, so we got to talk about some of the concerns that we have. But let's look at how these matchups specifically line up for the Detroit Lions here. As it relates to you, man, just first, your initial thought, Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears, and let's jump into the matchups.
I mean, my initial thought is that it's an opportunity for the Lions to stay hungry, even though it's the regular season, even though in some ways I'm sure they're just ready for the playoffs to start already. Because, like you said, the Lions, even last year, even during their Renaissance season where they won the division for the first time in 30+ years, they didn't win on Thanksgiving. This is another box to check on the list that they still have to prove some allegations for. Not that we think that they can't do it, but they still got to win on Thanksgiving. And also, this was a Bears defense last year, and we're going to get into the defense in just a second, that gave Jared Goff some problems last year. In 2 games versus the Bears last season, Jared Goff, 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He was only good in the last 4 minutes of the game.
I was about to say a magical comeback.
Absolutely. In the game at Ford Field, which was awesome, which was why they were able to get a win against the Bears last year. But this Bears defense, it's still top 10 in the NFL in points allowed per game. But the thing about this Bears defense where the Lions can potentially exploit is that, I don't know about you guys, but it seems to me that Montez Sweat's regressing a little bit, Jalen Johnson's regressing a little bit, and TJ Edwards is regressing a little bit. They've had some guys step up, like Gervon Dexter's a really good defensive tackle, Kyler Gordon's a nice nickel corner, to name a couple, but I think this Bears defense is good. It is gettable. I think that Jared Goff has a better game this year than he did in the 2 games last year. But there's also some potential injuries on the Lions offense, which could hinder them a bit.
Now, Stick heard your golf slander. He said golf slander? GTFO.
Are you serious? I said that he played. He had 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions last year against the Bears. But I also said that he was great in the final 2 minutes in the game at Ford Field, in which the Lions won. That's why some of you golf people are still insufferable. Stick.
And last year,
You're the only one.
Last year you would say that 1-1 record, it was against in my opinion, a more formidable Bears team. This year I do expect 2-0 against the Bears. Tyler Roy, he says, $9.99 super chat. Y'all are the best. Go Lions. Have a happy Thanksgiving, guys. Thank you for that.
Yep,
and
shout
of
out
course,
Tyler.
Definitely. Shout out to Tyler Roy. And shout out to you, chat family. We appreciate the support as always. And with these Detroit Lions, obviously there's a lot to be thankful for with them. Let's jump into this defense because you kind of teed it up there just a little bit. I don't believe that the Bears defense is as, something that we had to think about last year. That was a defense, especially if they made some changes that we were like, okay, this is something that the way that we were structured last year, I was a little bit more concerned than I am this year. This year, I don't really have any concern. I expect the offense to go in there and look as well-oiled as they have been against better defenses before the Bears.
Well, the Lions are a better team, too, than they were last year. The offense, if they're healthy, is a well-oiled machine that matches at their peak. Exceeds at their peak what they were able to do last season. The only thing that worries me a tad is the fact that it is a short week, and unfortunately this was not the best week for it to be a short week. The Lions, if you can say they have one glaring disadvantage against the Bears, is that the Bears are the healthier team. When you look at the questionable list for the Lions, Monty's questionable, Amon-Ra's questionable, Decker's questionable, and Raymond is questionable. If all 4 of them are out, I could see a pathway for the Bears keeping it a lot closer than we're all comfortable with. But they're still questionable. I know that Monty and Amon-Ra, they were limited practice on Tuesday. If I were to make a guess, I'm not a doctor, I'm probably guessing that Khalif doesn't play. Taylor Decker, he's already missed some games. We don't necessarily know, but
we haven't liked how that looked either.
Unfortunately, this is not the best week to have a short week.
Man, but I was thinking about it too. Like, imagine if this short week they had to travel to Chicago. So I am grateful that they get to be at home in Ford Field. And I know that Detroit is going to be absolutely insane and rocking to give them that extra little boost, especially for the next man up guys. I never underestimate how much the support of what the fans can give. Obviously, they're going to go out there and play their hardest. That's what I expect from a Dan Campbell coach team. But I already know that the atmosphere is going to be absolutely rocking. But you're right. We have to take these into consideration because last year, this team was almost flawless. There was a couple things that we saw trip them up. And one of those things was short week and injuries was a perfect recipe for them to lose to a team that I believe that they were better than.
And I want to be clear, I don't think that there's any way that the Lions will lose.
Right.
Just for the record, because the Bears, despite the fact that they're healthier, despite the fact that they have talent, despite the fact that they have a top 10 defense in terms of points allowed per game, they're still a 4-7 football team. They're a team that has let some games slip away. I believe they're a poorly coached team, first of all, which is something that the Lions will absolutely exploit. More on that in the next segment, by the way. That's something that you certainly can't be if you go in and play the Detroit Lions, because the Detroit Lions are the best coach team in the NFL.
You damn right.
And don't get me wrong, I don't think that you can call Dan Campbell the best coach in the NFL yet because Andy Reid still exists. But in terms of overarching, in terms of offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, Kelvin Shepard, Hank Fraley, Dave Phipp, Terrell Williams, that coaching staff is just, I don't know how else to say it. It's a wagon. It's immaculate. It's absolutely elite. And the Bears do not have that.
Not at all.
Their coach is probably going to get fired.
And you know what else the Detroit Lions have? That where when you are missing talent, you have to have this. And it's that level of physical. In the game of football, it is. And honestly, you can see it throughout sports. Where you are lacking in talent, a level of physicality that you bring to the game, both offensively and defensively, can make a difference. Because if that other team ain't ready for it, you will wear them down. You will catch them by surprise. You will pop them in the mouth, and they will not be able to recover. It's almost as like if I just walk up to you and it says, bop, right in the bridge of your nose. It's a wrap. And that's what I love about the Detroit Lions players. The one thing we were worried about when Aiden Hutchinson went down is who can replace his production. You can't. But if you have a whole team of rabid dogs, how much does it matter? And to this point, we've seen these Detroit Lions players, despite skill, we want better out of some of them. We would want them to perform at the greatest levels possible. But we see them going out there and literally being exactly what Dan Campbell described from the beginning. Because oftentimes we think about the aspect of the kneecap biting, but what this team has continued to do, and why I believe that this is just a BTA situation, no matter who's out there on the field for the Lions, is they know and they expect sometimes that they're going to be down. But who are you when you're down as well? And that's why I expect this team to go out there and just handle business.
I mean, they were down big at Houston, and they ended up winning. And I honestly, if it plays out the way that I think it'll play out, I don't believe that the Lions will be down in this game because there's some other advantages that they have that I'm going to talk about in the next segment, to where despite the Lions' injuries, because as they keep piling up, there is a part of me that wonders, even if it's just for a regular season game, even if a couple of these guys end up being out just because it's a short week, how much longer can they sustain this? But there are still a lot of players on this Detroit Lions, a lot of the players who are some of the best in the NFL, who are not on the injury report at all. And if we go offensively, like a Jared Goff, like a Jahmyr Gibbs, like a Penei Sewell, like a Kevin Zeitler, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta, none of those guys are on the injury report. Tim Patrick even, who has really emerged as a viable threat.
But this is where it proves that it is more than just kind of getting on here and just, I'm fired up for every little thing that they do. When we talk about identity, when we talk about their process, well, now we're actually seeing it. Now we're seeing that, no, that identity from the first player all the way down to the last player, it absolutely matters. When they talk about the types of players they want to bring in here, the guys that they bring in and they might not even play it down. And we talk about the fabric of that room. Now, when we're facing adversity, we're seeing how much more that identity matters for the Detroit Lions. Because like you, part of me, I had to just throw that caution that you experienced to the wind. I was like, you know what? I'm just jumping out there. Dan Campbell, catch me, bro. And Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, his Lions team has consistently done that. And it's like, I know it's the Bears on the docket, and I feel so much more confident about what we're going to do to them than even I felt about the last 2 weeks. But even in those games, I still felt confident despite the losses that we had experienced.
And as I said yesterday, the Lions continue to next man up this bitch in a way that I honestly, I'm not kidding when I say this. I don't know if I've ever seen a team just win the battle of attrition and not have injury luck. That's what they're doing. They are still managing to win the battle of attrition by being this next man up football team. Obviously, if we're talking about their defense, which we'll get to more in a second, getting a guy like Zadarius Smith obviously helps, but we're seeing people emerge and playing better than you ever thought that they could, especially a guy, for example, like a Malcolm Rodriguez, who everybody thinks that I was a Malcolm Rodriguez hater. It's a very complicated issue, and I don't have time to get into it now, but honestly, I'm happy.
You was hating a little bit.
I'm happy with how he's played now. No, I was unhappy last year when people were acting like he was Mike Allstott at fullback, Dick Butkus at linebacker,
I'm pretty sure we wouldn't act like
Matthew Slater as a special teams player, which was obviously false, but I obviously like what Malcolm Rodriguez has done this year. That's how people were acting.
I'm
he
pretty
played
sure
all
he
three
wasn't.
positions.
I mean, how did he not?
But you know what? That was out of line by me. Malcolm Rodriguez has been phenomenal this year. His PFF grade is actually better than Jack Campbell's, for the record. Not sure how much you want to take into that, and that's not a diss at Jack Campbell.
That's your
It's
favorite site, though.
I do love that site.
Yeah.
But the point is that a guy like Malcolm Rodriguez, those are the type of guys who really you need to step up when you're trying to win the battle of attrition and do the next man up. And you also need people like Ali McNeil who have managed to stay healthy and take another leap.
And what identity have you seen from them? When I see Malcolm Rodriguez out there and I see some of these guys who are the backups or who don't play necessarily the starters or the regular rotation, they look nasty out there. Every hit looks nasty. Every single time they're tackling somebody, they're wrapping up nasty. Malcolm Rodriguez tosses people every time he's tackling them. He wraps up, and I just see him just boom, like it's nothing. And he walks back like, I'm not even breathing heavy, bro. And like, that's what I say out of the squad, and I love that, man. Like, when we just step outside the X's and O's and the things that wills this team beyond logic of no Anzalone, no Aiden Hutchinson, no problem. That is crazy to me. I don't even know how you break that down. Like, how do you scheme? How do you sit down and realistically break this down? We're missing half of our day one starters on defense, and we're still playing elite.
Still playing elite. But do you know what else has been elite quite a bit? This Lions defense as well. And they've got themselves a interesting matchup this week. And I'll break it down a little bit. I think some people will probably get a little bit upset with me. But we will we'll kumbaya at the end, because obviously it's FTB and obviously the Lions aren't going to lose to the Bears. But do you know who else never loses? Woodward and Maine and the pregame show. Hey, Detroit. On game day, wake up with Woodward and Maine, your source for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champions, your Detroit Lions. With insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder. Get ready, Detroit, every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. Woodward and Maine, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Tully your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And then you have to go to the New Holland Brewing Lions pregame show, hosted by these extraordinary gentlemen up there. Was a lot going on in sports last night. I don't know why they make that noise, but I'm sure they did somehow. It's the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Every game day, Neil Rule and Sean Belegian bring you the best Lions pregame show.
Pick a side, Justin.
Sunday, 10 a.m. Hey, there we go. Good call there. Sunday, 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports, live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. The latest injury reports, fantasy sitting starts, and the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions. Join us for every Sunday home games live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. Your official guide to Lions game day on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Tully your local long drink, Sabbath Coffee, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and Les Stanford Chevrolet.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability, scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
KDK Law got your back. Wake up, Woodward Sports got your back. Man, Soroki's might have to have my back for lunch today. That back wall just looks amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And Soroki's is amazing. We love our sponsors. But welcome back to Wake Up Woodward Chat family. Thank you guys for kicking off the day with the crew. We are breaking down Detroit Lions versus Chicago Bears. The Thanksgiving Day game is tomorrow at 12:30, and there's so much more that goes on even beyond that. Like the parade that's going on, the Thanksgiving Day parade that's going on. I know that dude Justin will have boots on the ground as well. I love looking at that thing. Like all of the festivities, and this year, like I said, everything leading up to this game and everything like during the game, I'm just taking this all in bliss. This is going to be my momentous Thanksgiving Day. It's been 7 years since they have won. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They have these expectations, and so I am going to remain in bliss rather than how Thanksgiving used to be, waking up and you got your family there, you got the good food there, but we always had this little pit in our stomach. What are the Lions going to do? I just don't have that this year.
That's fair. I mean, why would you at this point? They're playing an inferior team. The Lions are clearly the best team in the NFL. Honestly, as I said before, if there's one thing that can keep this potentially close, it's the short week and the Lions' injuries. And I want to go to the Lions defensively versus the Bears offense because I think this is a potentially intriguing matchup. I think what I'm about to do is give the most fair analysis that you've ever seen about this Bears offense, including Caleb Williams, both good and bad. And also, you have to highlight that if you're Caleb Williams, and I'm not saying he's going to do this because he's a competitor, he probably wants to play against the best, you should pray that Carlton Davis doesn't play because that could make a huge difference because we're talking about a Carlton Davis who went out in that game with a non-contact injury. It doesn't appear to be the worst of the worst that we were fearing, but on a short week, who knows? They might choose to rest him. And then you're potentially looking at getting another big dose of Kindle Vildor, which we don't want to see, obviously, or even an Emmanuel Mosley who just hasn't really played football in a couple of years, unfortunately, due to his devastating injuries. So it could be potentially intriguing, although, of course, I like the Lions matchup, no doubt about it. Like, I think Aaron Glenn is probably could end up being the MVP of this game.
I think Aaron Glenn is going to be the individual that every single game I'm looking at and saying, you know what, Aaron Glenn, go out there and have a day. You know, as I just continue to hear you talk, and it's like, why? Because I believe it's going to be what pushes the Lions over the top this year. I expect the offense to always go out there and do what they do, but I've seen the defense this year, and we've seen this in years past, be able to go out there and affect and control more. Like when we've needed the defense to go out there and get a stop and then get another stop and then get another stop. We've seen them do that this year.
Sure.
And that's why I expect this team to go out there and from the standpoint that we know the Bears, what have they been crying about the last couple of years? Our defense. They already know what our offense is, but they probably are still feeling like, well, we've beat their offense. Well, but from the Chicago Bears standpoint, in their war room, while they're preparing for this game, they're talking about the stats that you brought up about Jared Goff versus them. They're talking about the fact that they should have swept us last year is probably what they're talking about in their room. And so when I do look at this squad, I do just expect them to go out there, though, from a defensive standpoint, and just put the Bears in a body bag. We've seen the Lions hold 3 teams now under 10 points. I think it might have been 5 teams under, or 6 teams or something like that, under like 16 points.
It's 6
or something
teams
like that.
Under 14.
It's
6
crazy.
teams, 14 are under.
And that's what I'm talking about. I expect the defense to be that. I know that Caleb Williams has put some good stuff on tape, but this is a game where everything we've seen from Aaron Glenn, he has an opportunity to confuse him. Vildor is a situation that you have to be mindful of, but with him, they still only gave up 6 points.
They did, and I don't think that. For the record, I think Caleb Williams is more equipped to exploit a Kindle Vildor than Anthony Richardson was, but we'll see. Who knows if Kindle Vildor plays? Carlton Davis, he might play. Who knows? It might be Emmanuel Mosley, and he might remind us of who he once was when he was healthy. Who knows? It's still up in the air right now, and that's the tricky part about analyzing games where there's so many questionable players. But with Caleb Williams, I'm higher on him than most. I loved him as a prospect. I thought he was going to be a good pro. I was mad when he went to the Bears. And what Caleb Williams has showed this season, and this is me being as fair as I can possibly be, on the good side, he's had 4 games in which he's had a passer rating over 100. He's done that more times this year than Jaden Daniels, Patrick Mahomes, and CJ Stroud. I bet you didn't know that he's had more 100 passer rating games than Jaden Daniels. However, On the other side, Caleb Williams has had 5 games with a passer rating under 70. And for a frame of reference, Jared Goff has only had 2. 5 games in which you pretty much play so poorly that you give your team basically zero chance to win. And those are the things that rookies do. And one of the reasons why he's had so many struggles is, he's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. Yes, his offensive line has had some injuries and they've been a little bit shaky, particularly at the interior. But Caleb Williams also has a really bad habit. And I think this is something where the Lions defense can exploit it. He holds on to the ball way too damn long, way too often, looking to make the spectacular play while not taking sometimes what the defense gives them. And I'll tell you what, Ali McNeil's going to be on his ass.
I was going to ask you that. Do you think this is a day where we actually see not just the pressures, not just the QB hits? Do you think this is a day where we actually see them kind of pile up some sacks?
I do.
Yes.
I 100% do. I think Zadarius Smith could get one. I think Aleem could get maybe one or multiple. I think DJ Reader just blows up the game and makes it easier for everything else. I don't know if he gets one because he doesn't usually put up the counting stats, but we're going to be looking at this game and being like, DJ Reader effed up the entire offensive game plan, kind of like he did last week and kind of like Aleem McNeil did last week.
I'm calling for it. I don't know if this is overzealous now. I'm calling for at least 4 sacks from the Detroit Lions.
Well, I'll tell you what. Caleb Williams, as I said, he is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, and he actually had a game this year in which he was sacked 9 times.
And that's the thing. I know I want to hear from KG and everybody else as well, but that's the thing. Just to ask, with the secondary in the condition it's at, do they have the ability to pin their ears back and get after the quarterback, or is this something where you think they have enough with just their basic 4-man rush, especially now that they've added Zadarius Smith back there?
I think they have enough with their basic 4-man rush. We'll see it. I mean, at the beginning, we'll see. Because, like I said, Caleb Williams, there have been many times this season in which he's had something develop in front of him where he could just hit the easy pass, but he's tried to do the spectacular. And I think that that's going to go bad for him. I think it's going to give the receivers, the pass rushers, some time to get to him. The one thing that I will say is that if there are moments where Caleb Williams has time, which I don't think there will be many, but maybe that's when Aaron Glenn adjusts to blitzing more. I do think if a Kindle Vildor gets burned by, say, DJ Moore, or example, I do think that would mean that Caleb Williams hits a big play. Maybe 1, maybe 2, but that's not going to be enough for them to win.
He could hit one. What up, though, KG?
Yeah, and real quick, Big Dan Davis, Woodward Sports, the Lions signed David Long and elevated him to the roster from the practice squad. What should we expect from him? He's primarily going to be used in run situations. Don't expect a lot of snaps from him, but whenever they go out there and try and stop the run, he's one of the better linebackers at stopping the run. Pass coverage is a different story. But, the Bears' offense is just far too inconsistent. And if you expect the Lions defense to stop the run like they've been doing, then DeAndre Swift is going to be a non-factor in this game. So that's number one. But what you have in your secondary does matter, because for all that Caleb Williams does and does not do, one thing that he does do well is extend plays, sometimes to his detriment. But that's one thing that, we have not seen the Lions actually deal with it, I guess, except for maybe last week with Anthony Richardson. And I was talking to Braylon yesterday, and he said that, what they put on tape, in regards to some of the drawed up QB runs that they were running with Anthony Richardson, you might expect the Bears to try and copycat that and maybe use some of that in this game. But I think the stark difference from last year and this year, you were dealing with Justin Fields last year. He was primarily run first and then pass. Caleb Williams is the opposite. He's going to look for the pass, and if he has to use his legs, he will. But y'all, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, just a little caveat. Not just run first and pass. Justin Fields was like, bro, I can throw 100 on you.
Yeah.
That's different than Caleb Williams.
No, it is. It is. And Caleb just makes far too many mistakes. Like Sam said, holds on to the ball too long. Still doing college shit. You can definitely tell that he's a rookie, maybe somebody that needed to sit. But ultimately, you don't want him extending plays with your secondary being what it is right now. Now, we still need to see who's going to play, but that can be an issue. But ultimately, I expect our edge rushers to get involved, man, because you're going to get Caleb outside the pocket a lot with the way you're going to be able to pressure. You will be able to get pressure with your front four. I would maybe bring a linebacker or two up sometimes, just to give them a different look. But the Lions defense are going to get some sacks in this game. You can best believe it, and especially with their weakness being in the middle and the way Aleem McNeil has been playing and the way DJ Reader has been playing, that's just going to open up everything for everybody else on the edges, and we're going to get Caleb to the ground.
There's no doubt about a lot of what you just said. And you mentioned it that if Caleb Williams, he's been better, I think, throwing from the pocket and on schedule at times than he's given credit for. But yeah, he's most dangerous when he's extending plays. You saw him do it last week against the Vikings, one of which led to a touchdown was where he rolled out and hit it in a perfect window to DeAndre Swift. But speaking of DeAndre Swift, I'm so glad that you mentioned him. Because in some ways, DeAndre Swift has had a pretty nice year. But this is where, when you look at what the Bears rushing attack has done this year, you're really thankful for what you have in Detroit. Because in Detroit, besides for most of the Texans game, but even at the end, Jahmyr Gibbs popped off for a couple, the Lions don't have off days on the ground. With the Chicago Bears, you can point to numerous games where they just couldn't get anything going. I mean, guess who led the Bears in rushing yards last game? It was Caleb Williams with 33. Guess who led the Bears in rushing yards in the first game of the season? Swift with 30. Second game, Caleb with 44. Week 3, Roschon Johnson with 30. Week 9, they rushed for 69 yards on 3 yards per carry. Week 10, 73 yards on 3.7 yards per carry. Those are all games, more than half of them, where the run game has basically given them nothing. Mm-hmm. You're effed.
You're effed.
I mean, you're effed. Like, honestly, because are the Lions really going to let DeAndre Swift go off?
But that's
Hell
the thing.
no.
As you were talking, and you were talking about the Bears' trends of Caleb Williams leading their team in rushing several times, what have we seen the Lions do? Force the other team's quarterback to have to lead them in rushing several times, even though they're supposed to have some great running back on the roster. And they are. It's just for some reason, when they hit the Lions, there's some aspect of just absolute just negative. That's it. When you hit us, whatever your superpower is, it no longer is. Their defense literally is kryptonite. Everybody comes in with a good running back. We keep hearing what they're going to do, and then nada. We keep hearing about how the mobile quarterback or the strong arm quarterback is going to do X, Y, and Z. And sometimes they put up some yards, but they also catch that L a lot more than not over the last couple of years.
Yeah. And that's what the Bears are going to do this year. They're going to catch that L. And for the last reason to why the Bears are really going to struggle against the Lions, because I gave you their lack of run game. I gave you the fact that Caleb Williams has had some rookie growing pains and he's had some really bad games as long as some good ones. It's the fact that Matt Eberflus is an absolute buffoon.
Yep.
We almost hope that it's close enough so that Matt Eberflus can keep his job, because if the Lions drop like a 40 burger on them, maybe Matt Eberflus is fired. I can look at numerous games. Like the Bears are currently on a 5-game losing streak. You just hate to see it, right? FTB.
Oh,
but
man.
there are 3 legitimate games that you can go back to and be like, their coach blew that game.
Yeah.
The way they defended that Hail Mary was inexcusable.
That's crazy.
The fact that Tyreek Stevenson was so undisciplined on that play, that's coaching. We talk about the Bears in that game against the Packers. They got down to about the 30-yard line with 30 seconds left and didn't try to get the ball closer, which meant they could have kicked the ball with not such a low trajectory and maybe got that game-winning field goal. And then last week, the game in which I thought, given all the circumstances, was Caleb Williams' best game, that was the Bears' Matt Eberflus' defense letting the Vikings do pretty much whatever they want. So Matt Eberflus, the difference between him and Dan Campbell, it's the Pacific Ocean. Like the coaching disadvantage that the Bears are
nice.
in. Yes, the Lions have a coaching advantage that is so vast, that is so wide, that is so big that you can't even... It's like a NFL head coach against the coach of Ball State. No disrespect to Ball State, but you understand what I'm saying.
And that's why when I'm looking at this game, obviously we expect.
I just thought of a random MAC school, Ball State. Right. Sorry. shout out Ball State.
I saw Chase's face as soon as you saw it. I lost my whole rhythm, but that's why in this game I expect to win. But what do I want to see? Exactly what you stated. that dominance in all of the different phases. If you are better, that's what I want to say. And look, we get it. Injuries can play a factor. We have people that are playing above even probably what we expected. But where I expect them to always have the advantage is in the department of coaching. Even with some of the other guys like the Andy Reids who have done it for a long time, I still expect this overall coaching staff to be one that can go up there and hold their own against anybody in the league. I expect Dan Campbell to be the ultimate leader. I expect Brad Holmes. I expect Ben Johnson to continue to scheme up. Just if he has to go into the bag, it's a deep well, just like he stated. I expect Aaron Glenn to be able to bring up schemes that continue to take advantage of the fact that these people don't know where the pressure is going to come from. These people, they believe, hey, you know what, we can pick on this cornerback. They picked on a cornerback to the tune, again, I repeat myself, to 6 points.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what in their game plan was like, yo, this is what we're going to do. But it seemed like you played right into freaking Aaron Glenn's hands. Like, it reminds me of when you look at Professor X and Magneto playing chess. It's like, bro, you're doing exactly what he wants you to do. They're coming in with something in mind that they're saying we're going to do, but why didn't it work? Last year we saw some teams have some success, but the type of Aaron Glenn I see this year, that's what I'm going to see on display out of these Detroit Lions. They go out there and they look like a team that's just handling their business, period.
Yep, and that's ultimately what might end up being the most impactful matchup of the game. And Stick, listen when I say this, because you're accusing me of being a Caleb Williams de-esser, and I think I've been very, very, shout out Justin, I never used that term before him, but I think I've been very critical at times. That's the matchup where the Lions have an advantage. The best defensive coordinator in the NFL versus a rookie quarterback who has some flashes, but has had a lot of struggles and has a bad coaching staff himself. That's going to be, it could be a long day for Caleb Williams. Do I think he'll hit on a play or two? Sure. Do I think he'll lead the Bears to maybe 14 points? Fine. But what's 14 points? Who gives a damn? The Lions are going to put up at least like 27, I think.
Right.
Not to give away my final score, but I think that's
No.
27-14.
Hey,
Glenn, you ready here first?
ADIS 411 in the chat. Swift got the insight on the Lions offense. No, he doesn't.
This
offense is vastly different from what he was here.
Come on.
Yeah, come on now. They had a whole different running backs coach and everything at that
Listen
point.
to the players. They don't got the insight on his offense. They just like, wait, we doing that this week?
Yeah.
What's up, Chase?
I mean, he couldn't get PT over Jamal Williams.
Right.
Like, what are you talking
It's
about?
fucking crazy.
Dog.
No chance in hell.
Let's get to this next segment, but first, walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a $20 haircut special, a scalp massage, a hot lather neck shave, even if you're wearing leather pants, and a hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special by just scanning that QR code. It's somewhere on the screen, and when you do, you'll get your coupon today. And then you get to walk in any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men that's open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. It's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Hey, listen, you guys, you want to fuel your Lions fandom and all your Detroit fandom, your Wake Up Woodward and Woodward Sports fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game, savoring a quiet morning, or getting the day kicked off with Wake Up Woodward, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door, so they're treating you right. All you got to do, head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com and choose your favorite roast and use code Woodward to get 25% off your favorite, off your first subscription order. Awaken and wine, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Hey, and we are back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we appreciate you guys for kicking off the day with the crew. It's been a show, man. And we got Detroit Lions football tomorrow.
Gotta love it.
Hey, we got Thanksgiving tomorrow. We got family, friends, food. Hey, you know what? I know some of us are going to be coming by the studio as well. I hope that you guys tap in. We got all of our Lions coverage shows tomorrow, starting with Woodward and Maine. And then we have the pregame show, the watch party, and the postgame show, all going down tomorrow. On socials, we're going to have content rocking. We already have some up. Some of our favorite Thanksgiving Day moments. I know Barry Sanders had 3 touchdowns against the Bears before on Thanksgiving. Yep. We got that posted up.
That good turducken.
How about 3 more rushing touchdowns for the Lions this Thursday?
Hey, let's go.
No matter who they come from.
What would be the combination? What would be the combination? Because it's rushing. I would say 2 from David Montgomery, 1 rushing touchdown from Jahmyr Gibbs, but I also got a pass, like Jahmyr Gibbs catching a touchdown too. Maybe.
David Montgomery's still questionable. You know, but still, I think no matter what happens, they might not get 3 touchdowns on the ground, but they'll run the ball effectively because Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the best backs in the NFL.
Talk about it, man. Yeah. Talk about it. Well, you know what? Let's get these final score predictions real quick before we move into the next segment. What is that? What is that final score for you for Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears?
I am going to go, and I gave it away a little bit in chunks in the last segment. I am going to go a little bit closer than a lot of people will say because of the potential injuries. I'm going to go Lions 27, Bears 14. Still a very comfortable win. A win where you see the defense frustrate Caleb Williams at times, and they shut down the run game for the most part. The Bears may pop a play or two. And I think offensively, if Monty and St. Brown are out or even hampered, it could hurt them a little bit, but it's just going to be one of those games where they just steadily break the backs of the Chicago Bears. I got them covering barely, a 27-14 Lions win.
I feel like this is a game where J-Mo and Jahmyr Gibbs are going to definitely get some numbers.
Fair.
We've seen them look pedestrian comparatively. They still put up decent stats, like the 6 catches for 65 yards for J-Mo. But this is a week where I do believe that J-Mo is going to go off and Jahmyr Gibbs is going to go off too.
I could see it.
And that the offense is going to come in with the mindset of, you know, pick up the defense as much as we can. Let's step on the gas pedal. We're not going to have a disappointment on this Thanksgiving. I don't know what the mindset was going into last year, but I do expect, as often I say, and I've said, usually we stay Aaron Glenn have a day. This is a game where I want to see Ben Johnson have a day. We see the defense step up no matter who's there, and I do believe that Ben Johnson, he knows that. Ben Johnson, he's a mastermind. We don't question that. Go out there on this Thanksgiving and change the thing. Change that narrative. We call them narrative busters. So far, this regime has not won a Thanksgiving Day game. I think it changes this week with Ben Johnson getting deep into his bag of tricks. And the Detroit Lions, I was mulling back and forth between, is it going to be 34-13 or 34-17? I'm going to go 34-17.
I like it.
And just because it's like something late for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Sure. What up, KG?
I got 35-17 forward down the motherfucking field. I mean, I expect Monty to play in this game. I think he wants the Bears bad, bro. I think Monty's going to play in this game. He's going to have a big game. I also expect the Lions offense to just be a well-oiled machine. The Bears will get some plays late in this game, but it'll already be out of reach. The Lions are going to get on them early and often, man, and they are going to get in that backfield and sack Caleb a lot. 35-17.
JB Smooth.
Oh, sorry, I'm over here just trying to start the chat poll up again. But score predictions, I kind of want to disrespect the Bears, but I'm not going to do that fully. So give me Lions 34, Bears 10. Once again, what? I gave them 10. What? I gave them 10.
I hit the wrong drop fucking with you. So
You
what
know
I
what?
wanna-
All of our
I
predictions.
don't want to disrespect the Bears.
I gave
34-10.
I gave them 10.
For like 45
What's wrong with that?
seconds. This is dog.
JB, that was one of the funniest moments on Wake Up Woodward history. I love that. I know you didn't do that on. I know you didn't do that on. You unintentionally created one of the most iconic moments in the history of the show.
Dog, that is hilarious.
That's why you're elite, man.
I gave them 10.
I gave them 10.
I gave them 10 points. Like, look, you're going to lose respectfully, but your head coach will end up getting fired. I think the Lions will have an unsung hero in Tim Patrick in this game. Amon-Ra's going to get his, but I do think Jahmyr Gibbs will have a all-star Thanksgiving Day game. And even though Monty wants to be back here to face the Bears, I think it's best for him to just relax, sit this one out, and let him know that the rest of the squad has his back.
Hey, let's rock. Cavassier Chase, that dude Justin.
Cavassier.
I mean, I was going to take it further than JB. I mean, how many times have we seen Caleb Williams be unable to throw a touchdown pass? And the Lions are one of the best run defenses in the NFL and among NFL history. Can you trust the Chicago kicker at all? I mean, I honestly think it's possible the Bears end up with nothing on the scoreboard. Like, I could see like a 28-0 win. Like, truthfully, like,
let's go.
I mean,
they're fired up, boy.
Our run defense is
It's a
that
wild
good.
prediction.
Their pass offense has been that bad, specifically Caleb Williams. And I mean, like I said, can you ever trust a Chicago kicker? Robbie Gould's been gone a long time. So.
I love Chase in every single prediction. I don't care what it is. I love it, man. Hey, that dude Justin, what up though?
All right, I got 38-12 in the touchdown streak continuing for Aaron Glenn. No touchdowns
38-12.
and just some field goals.
Okay.
38-12, no touchdowns, and only one field goal for Jake Bates.
Hey, I like that. Hey, just quickly, anybody's predictions for the MVP? It used to be what, the turkey leg?
Yeah.
But I know now it's the Madden MVP player of the game. Any predictions for that? I do think, at least for
Like
me,
I said, Monty, man.
I think it's good.
He about to show out on the Bears.
I agree with Kool-Aid. I think it's Jahmyr Gibbs. Because
Gibbs.
there's no question of whether or not he's playing. And I think he pops one. Like, I would be... I'm calling for it. Jahmyr Gibbs gets one rushing touchdown of at least 30 yards.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
JB Smooth, what up, though?
Like I said before, it's Gibbs for me. He's going to be your Madden player of this game. I think, as Flannel said, he's going to pop one and over 70 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Hey, Cavassier Chase, that dude Justin? I know that dude Justin already said this. But
Yeah, I got Ja. I got Ja. He's just playing out of his mind right now.
I can't decide between Amon-Ra or J-Mo. I think either one of them is just going to really eat and feast against the Bears defense. It'll just be whatever one ends up, getting more separation and coverage. So, but I think Goff's going to have a really good day. I think one of the receivers is going to just tear him up. Might get 2 touchdowns.
Man, this could be one of those Goff days, especially with some of the given injuries and
I'm
stuff.
gonna switch mine to Goff because I don't want to
Goff.
be with everyone in the room. I want to be
fair.
my own man.
Get
So I'm
some
gonna go Jared Goff because also at the same time it's the Bears and it's Jared Goff.
What's
He's
that
gonna-
I hear faintly in the background?
Jared Goff.
Is that the steps of
Jared
one
Goff.
stick? We said Jared Goff. He might just pop up here at some point in time, but
Yeah.
But I'm
definitely.
expecting I don't know, maybe 4 incompletions all game, maybe less. I don't know, maybe
It's
less.
that's
like
the way
that.
that we now judge Jared Goff.
Yeah.
He may have 4 or 5 incompletions.
It's
Hendon Hooker
crazy, man.
starts the fourth quarter. What am I going to say?
I hope it's
If
that
it's
type of
34-10,
Thanksgiving.
then
I hope
listen.
it's that type of Thanksgiving. You know what? Let's get into the next segment. JB,
Hookers on Thanksgiving. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking
Hookers
about,
on
baby.
Thanksgiving. I like that. We might need that. Hey, please, Lions, make it happen. Get that post ready if it does.
Okay.
JB Smooth, I think you got to tell us about Caesars.
Yeah, I got to tell you about Caesars Sportsbook. Make some money tomorrow. There are a couple NFL games going on, and why not do it with the best sportsbook around? One that is our sponsor as well, too. Caesars Sportsbook. Scan that QR code on screen. Use code word Woodward1000. Deposit up to $1,000, and all you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet, and if it doesn't hit, they will throw it right back into your account with no questions asked. It is the best sportsbook around right now. It's our sponsor here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code. Make some money tomorrow.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Somebody say merge. Hey, we are starting Black Friday early. We're giving you 10% off 10%. Right now. Use code WSN10 if you go to woodwardsports.com and you click on that shop tab. There are new designs on there right now that I know you need to have as a Christmas gift, a stocking stuffer. Hey, you need all of this stuff right now. Hell, if you want to just get it now to wear at the next Lions home game, you got it. We got the Dan Campbell MD kneecap specialist.
Campbell MD.
We also have Dan Campbell's spoken words from his opening presser as well, too. Biting kneecaps all day. You need all of this. Head over to woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. Black Friday early for you.
Blacks.
Hey, and we are back. It's Wake Up Woodward. I'm getting more and more fired up as the show goes on. Obviously, we're trying to break down these games, and some of these breakdowns have just been like, what are we talking about? It's the Colts, it's the Jaguars, it's the Bears.
I gave him 10 points. Come on now.
You know, that
Gave
was
him 10
hilarious.
points.
I'm going to go back and rewatch that like 50 times. That was hilarious, JB Smooth, man. But you know what? Houston, do we have a problem? What in the world? This whole thing with James Houston has felt like one of the most bumpiest roads ever. And then like Mountain Road, instantly it's just resolved. The situation is resolved. Whether it went the way you wanted to or not, here's your answer. And it's just like, okay. And we've seen the writing on the wall with James Houston. He was waived by the Detroit Lions. And he's been in a position where they wanted him to reach a certain attainment in terms of the skill set and the positions he could play. And then we all said, oh, just let him do what he does best. They put him in that position, and it was kind of marginal, but not necessarily as consistent or impactful as the Detroit Lions would have hoped for. And it results in James Houston, unexpectedly to me personally, getting waived at a time where there's also some speculation that the Detroit Lions could be looking at either backup quarterback positions, backup secondary positions, or in others.
We could see if that turns into them going after somebody else, which who knows? There might be some very small areas of need because the Lions are pretty much stacked. With injuries piling up, you just never know. But, yeah, James Houston, there's really not a whole lot to say. Like, honestly, I would say during his time with the Lions, he's been a net positive given what his expectations were. He obviously had that spectacular rookie season. 2023 was cut short by injury, unfortunately. And then this year was the year where he was really supposed to step up and be a big part of this pass rush. And for the most part, he wasn't. And sometimes he couldn't get on the field. However, James Houston did leave his mark on the season, and I'm not talking about the shit that he took on the field. I'm talking about in that same Houston Texans game.
Gatorade.
He can take those pants with him.
Absolutely. He played well. He played a part in that game. He played a part in them winning that game. This was their closest call of the season, the one that they were closest to losing without actually losing because obviously they lost the Buccaneers game. And James Houston made a couple of plays. So he still gets credit for what he did this year. I think given the fact that the news that was just dropped, he was a flash in the pan, and that's all he's ever going to be. And that's okay. He was a 6th-round draft pick. He did his thing in the NFL, and now he's probably going to struggle to stay on practice squads. Maybe the Lions one, by the way. He can clear waivers. We know that, but he didn't do enough this year to retain his roster spot, especially given the Zadarius Smith acquisition and Josh Paschal stepping up and being so good.
And they were going to have to pay him at the end of the year or decide whether to pay him at the end of the year.
That is true. That is another huge caveat. I wonder how this factors overall for them because he was supposed to be an impactful player. I know when you lose players, I don't know how this thing plays this way with the compensation picks and things like that if he gets picked up by another team. But 14 Grit says, James Houston, unforgettable rookie year. He just lost his mojo. And I want to be fair to one thing. He got injured. You know, he gave it a lot that rookie year, and he got injured. He did come here injured, though, as well. So we don't know if it's just injury prone or not, but at least we know that the injuries, they come from him at least trying to give his all to this team, and he continued through. If the Lions ultimately have to make a decision, they have to. But his situation, to me, it just rings a little bit more differently than even with the Isaiah Buggs situation, where we recognize and we realized and we heard that there was some issue between Buggs and even some like Dan Campbell and such behind the scenes. We never heard that with James Houston. So this just boils down to maybe the wrong time, as well as a mix of the production that has gone down after his injury.
Well, and I don't want to take credit for this, so I'll give credit to Spencer Raxter from the Woodward Heavyweights. He had a post on X, and this is something that he's been hammering about for a long time, because he was high on James Houston before the season, and I certainly was in terms of him as well, in terms of him making the roster spot. But what he always continues to preach, and he said it last night when James Houston was released, the Detroit Lions, they clearly like well-rounded players. And James Houston, versatile. He is a pass rush specialist, and honestly, if you're going to be a pass rush specialist, you need to do it better than he was doing it this year.
Yeah, what do we call it? We say versatility, right?
Versatility.
Hey, what up, though?
Nah, and I think that it's telling that they cut him at a position that they absolutely need, especially in the stretch run of a Super Bowl, maybe, for this team. The fact that you got rid of, an edge rusher that you kind of expected a little more from, but there were signs. And I was talking to Braylon yesterday, and he said this on E&E, and I thought he was right, because he's coming from the perspective of a former player. He said that you don't make a move like this at a position of need like this unless something happened. And I don't want to say it's like a Isaiah Buggs type situation. Maybe it was just the fact that he wasn't putting enough work in, or, maybe they just weren't seeing what they thought that he had, before the season started. But there were signs along the way. The fact that they were trying to play him at linebacker in training camp. Maybe they were trying to find ways to get him on the field because they didn't necessarily trust his pass rushing ability. I brought this up when the season started. He was the first backup behind Aiden Hutchinson, and I raised the flag at that, because why wouldn't you put him on the other side where, one, you really needed his skill set, and two, he would have got more playing time. The fact that you put him behind Hutch to where he wasn't going to see a lot of snaps, to me, that was concerning. And in the time that he did get to play, I mean, he did have the sack in the one game. Unfortunately, the Gatorade incident kind of overshadowed that. But besides that, we haven't really heard a lot of James Houston so far this year. And I think the writing was on the wall, man. This was somebody that they were going to have to pay at the end of the year. And you just haven't seen enough from him. I don't know if he was that same guy once he came back from injury. He just didn't seem to have it like he had it in 2022. But we forget, even in 2022, he was cut at the beginning of the year. They brought him back halfway through the year. So this is somebody that they've been back and forth with over his whole Lions career. It's unfortunate. I wish him well in his future endeavors, but I just, for them to make this move now when you need as many edge rushing bodies as you can possibly get, it kind of shows me that maybe something else was afoot besides just the fact that he's not producing.
I'm hoping at the very least it was just the Lions saying at a position of need, especially with a couple injuries, because if some of the injuries before Aiden Hutchinson on the defensive line don't happen, this probably happens a lot sooner, or maybe he doesn't make the roster. But when you got some of the injuries that they do sustain, then maybe he gets an extended opportunity, especially given the fact that, what do we hear about the Lions organization as they brought Zadarius Smith in? They treat players well. So I can see it being a situation, just speculating, where they're just like, look, we're going to give you the opportunities because it presents itself. Even if, to this point, you haven't necessarily lived up to, production-wise, having this roster spot will still give you the opportunity because we can afford to do that. And if you get the James Houston, a little bit of the James Houston of year one, that would have bode well for them, because you said something right, man. Being listed as the backup to Aiden Hutchinson, I get it with a Zadarius Smith. If you had a Zadarius Smith next to Aiden Hutchinson, you're hoping that helps to free up Aiden Hutchinson to be more of a monster.
Right.
When you're putting James Houston on the other side of the line, you're hoping that Aiden Hutchinson plus the rest of that line now helps James Houston do what he does better, and that's get after the quarterback.
Exactly.
But if the team is saying, we don't think you can do that, that's a problem.
Especially after Marcus Davenport went down, because he was the first lineman to go down the first edge rusher to go down for this team. That was like the perfect opportunity to slot him in at that spot, and they didn't do that. So,
man, you're right. That's the observation.
Yep. And happy that he got a chance to live his dream, and he still might.
Made some money.
He still might, and he made an impact. It's just unfortunately he's probably a lot more likely to go down as a flash in the pan, like, and how the F did that happen? A trivia question someday instead of somebody who has sustained success in the league. But as I said before, James Houston did make his mark, and I'm not talking about the Gatorade that he sat in, to put it more diplomatically. But you know what? You know who makes a mark in good ways? Jesus, that was a bad transition.
Terrible.
They can't all be 10s.
Right.
Dreaming of a new home and feeling the financial pinch? Mark White Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White Associates today at 248-290-8242. Visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
We already told you Soroki's was taking over Michigan. Check out their new Fenton and Heartland locations today. Don't miss out on their grand opening events in Fenton on December 5th and in Heartland on December 12th from 4 to 8 p.m. Enjoy exclusive giveaways, a chance to win free Soroki's for a year, and the cheapest gas in the state. Come and enjoy the fun food and unbeatable deals at Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza.
And listen, New Holland Brewing Company, they're bringing you guys the Woodward Sports Watch Party and the Woodward Sports Post-Game Show for every single Detroit Lions game. Hey, listen, this Thursday, we are in studio for the Detroit Lions game. After that, we are right back live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township for the only place to watch the game if you're not going to be at the game. The best food, best drinks, best experiences. Our sponsors come by. Hey, listen, you get to experience some of that. Hey, you know what I mean? A little bit of Soroki's never hurt anybody. I'm telling you, you guys want to drop by. The heavyweights get things kicked off. All of the instant reactions to all of the biggest plays, and it goes viral. Our social team, they do their thing. And the people that are there, all of the fans, they're a part of it as well. Right after that, we get into the instant analysis with the post-game show hosted by Stick and Anton. And we include you guys in that as well. You get to call in and be a part of it. Or if you're there at Hayes Social, then we make sure we give you a mic and we put you in front of the camera so that you can say what you got to say about these Detroit Lions. All of this is brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Tully your local long drink, 1800 Tequila, Soroki's, and Sabbath Coffee. Hey, and we are back. It's time now, man. This show just kind of zoomed by. Chat family, go ahead and put those likes on this stream. If you haven't gotten an opportunity to, put in the chat what you are thankful for as well. Family stuff, sports stuff. Give us some funny ones as well. Get those mailbag questions ready. But right now, we got to spark up word to Dispo. It is time for what's trending with JB Smooth.
Let's do it.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
It's the original Pilgrim, JB Smooth.
Boulders. Big rocks.
What's going on, everybody? Before I hop into these videos, we do have a little bit of breaking news. It's just kind of hard for me to sit here and cite where this person technically signed to. But breaking news. Daniel Jones has just signed with Chipotle, FedEx, CVS,
everywhere,
Uber, 7-Eleven.
Damn.
Everywhere but an NFL
Burger
team.
King's, Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's a good spot for him, man.
JP, you on one today, bro.
Waste management. I don't know. He hasn't made up his mind just yet. I'm sorry.
Oh,
a lot of teams want him, man.
He's a viable source out here.
Very sought after.
Even seen Pizza Hut on here for
I'll
some
tell you
odd
what.
reason. I don't know why.
Like no smarm. The fact when I saw Desmond Ridder on the field playing for the Raiders, Daniel Jones can get somewhere.
Yeah,
he will.
But or it could end up being at one of these places. Who knows? I hope you land on your feet because Daniel Jones sucking had no bearing on my life. But to Giants fans, I'm sure he's the devil.
I'm sure he is. But like I said, I just had to get that breaking news out of the way. Flannel.
Hey, shout out to Stick real quick,
What's up?
man. We appreciate you, brother. He said he's thankful for the WUW Crew. These boys all stepped up and created a great morning show.
Thank you, Stick.
Thank you,
Shout out.
For
Thank
real.
you, Stick.
Thankful for you.
Thankful.
Yes.
Definitely appreciate you, Stick. Shout out once again. Flannel, I got something for you right here. I know you're all about your greens, but for Thanksgiving, maybe try something different instead of the greens because you don't want to find this in it.
All meat, no sides.
Wait, what?
That is a grasshopper in a airport salad.
No.
That's why you don't buy salad from the airport, people.
That's fair.
Look at the girl next to. She is stressing, dog.
That's crazy.
What airport are you
I'm
in? I mean,
stressing, man.
some parts of the world eating insects is very common.
Here,
I mean,
Chase, you could probably find it just for that.
Right.
There you go.
This is America, Chase. I hate to be that guy. This is America. we don't do that over here. God damn, that's terrifying.
Yeah, that's bad.
Like I said, maybe this year just pass on the salad.
Yeah. Maybe it tastes like chicken. You never know.
Man, now I'm gonna be thinking about that when I order my next Caesar salad. That's my go-to meal
Your
at
next
restaurants,
pizza
by the
with
way.
salad
You
on
gotta
top,
pay
right?
attention to what you're eating, people.
Oh, yeah.
Just look at the fork before you put it in your mouth. That's all I say. Pause.
Goodness.
Great advice, KG.
Look, like, you guys heard it here first from KG. KG said, "Look at it before you put it in your mouth." That's from KG.
That's fair.
I had to make sure I protect myself in the clippability
You gotta
world.
know what you're putting in there, man. That's all I'm saying.
Clip it. That's all I'm saying. But next up, I just hope you guys know Jared Goff would never.
Concussion.
Jared Goff would never.
Something tells me, oh boy, hit the target that he wanted to hit.
Oh, man.
He set his girlfriend up for failure, boy.
Bro, that is a concussion. That is so far away, bro. That, like, are you kidding me?
Is that Jalen Daniels?
You're right.
Hey,
No, he's been good lately.
take his name out of your mouth.
Hey, that's his accuracy, man. Accuracy. I mean, obviously he didn't hit the Gatorade bottle, but you know,
He hit her.
He was close, yeah.
It was kind of accurate.
That's all for the whole week.
Don't slander my sweet prince, Jalen Daniels.
Oh,
Buddy's
here we
won
go.
me $500 in the last 2 weeks.
Honestly, I'd say your sweet prince is honestly more Devin Neal, but
I
in tandem, yeah.
In tandem.
Yeah, in
They're
tandem, yeah.
an electric duo. I wish they played better earlier in the
I
season.
know.
They should be in playoff contention right now.
Kool-Aid, you think we could convince our wives to do some shit like this?
No.
Oh my god!
Like, how did you even convince her to do this?
Shooting? Oh yeah, I got that. That's 100. Throwing a football, I think I'm pretty decent. I can't trust that though.
Nah.
That would be cast over us like a shadow for the rest of our relationship.
She'd leave me, for sure. My wife is not playing that shit.
Do any of you trust me to do that for you?
Hell no.
With a football?
Hell no.
Honestly,
Hey, the social content would bang. The social content would bang. We could go walk outside after the show, and I could try.
I guess.
Nah, I'm good.
I mean, not ideally, but if she can stand there and take a hit, then I can too.
Hey, she a ride or die, though. She did that shit. She went out there and did that shit for the team.
And for socials, that's what you pulling on my heart. He looked right at me too. Like,
Come on, social.
For the content, it's like, oh, never mind.
For the
Maybe I will.
content, I think I would sacrifice. Oh my gosh, I was about to say I would sacrifice my head for the content.
Hey, a lot of people would in
I
this
won't
era.
let you do that, but
A lot of
appreciate the
people would in
sentiment.
this era, man. It's COE out here, man. Content over everything. So,
And finally, I will end What's Trending with this because I had to do it. I had to pull this out of the bag for Thanksgiving tomorrow. So, shout out to all the people's grandmas out there.
What?
yep, tell them.
I got beans, creams,
Shirley
potatoes,
Caesar.
tomatoes,
Hey,
hey,
hey.
Hey.
beans, creams, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rat. You name it. Creams, potatoes, tomatoes,
Come on.
lamb,
Hey.
ribs, raw,
Hey.
creams,
What up?
potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, beans.
I mean, she's spitting right now. Tell me that she's not.
All right, Justin. Come on, Chase. Give us some, Chase.
Tomatoes, beans, creams, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, creams, beans.
Sound like she's in the team, please.
Hey, we got a
Beans, tomatoes, potatoes.
I mean, I had a day when I was big into going to the club, so
Oh, no, I done seen Sam in action. My boy, get out there with the movie.
I saw the videos of this weekend.
Oh, man,
Sam
my
was
boy,
getting
get out
jiggy.
there.
Hey, look at
He
last
ain't
year's
afraid.
Christmas party.
oh yeah, that was an interesting time.
Legend. Legend.
Thank you for that.
That was a good time.
I don't know if I can show up to our company Christmas party. I'm a little bit of a menace when it comes to holidays and parties.
Oh,
I'm
God.
willing to be there.
HR, watch out.
I can't wait. I'm gonna be there this year. We
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have to go.
Yeah, we going.
No, I'll have to be there. I'll just have to have some self-control.
Just to go crash out at the holiday
wait,
party.
no,
He
no,
already
this
telling
way,
us he
no.
finna crash out.
Oh man. Anything else for us? for
No,
What's
that's it
Trending?
for What's Trending, you guys. Let's
Oh,
hop into some
Especially if we
mailbag.
lose to the Bills that day. I'm gonna go to the game and I'm gonna come home and come back here to the Christmas party. I'm gonna be hammered. Let's call it how it is. I mean, coming back from the Lions game, so I mean,
And then
rock.
coming to work tomorrow the next morning.
Look, let me tell you about some more of these sponsors that we're thankful for, as well as we'll end with the Feldman one. When we get into the Feldman segment, we'll definitely have Justin's reaction to college football playoffs while these questions enter the chat. But attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and every Thursday during Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. So just trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Why? Because Dr. Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Absolutely, and the 1800 Tequila, official tequila of Woodward Sports, Lions watch parties and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate the wins with smooth 1800 Tequila. Proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions, 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila. Drink responsibly.
And Feldman.
Absolutely. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hey, let's rock, you guys. It is now time for the Wake Up Woodward Mailbag segment presented by Feldman Automotive Group. Get those mailbag questions in. We'll definitely read as many as we can. Hey, but college football playoff rankings dropped. Take it away, that dude, Justin.
well, there's a couple things that just were really intriguing, and the first one is you are getting penalized for winning the Big Ten title game, essentially, if you're Oregon or you're Ohio State, because the winner of the Big Ten title game has to play, as this current draw is constructed, Georgia or Tennessee, and the loser would play the winner of, or would play against Arizona State in the first round and then play Boise State in the second round.
That's like auto
So you're auto
yeah.
semifinaling
Yeah.
the loser of the Big Ten. So there's got to be some type of change to these rankings where they reseed after the first round, but that's down the road. The biggest thing is the way that they dealt with Indiana. They sent Indiana down to 11. And my question to KG and to Sam and whoever else wants to answer is, if Texas A&M beats Texas or if South Carolina beats Clemson, do they jump Indiana?
Texas A&M, yes. I'm not sure about the other one, but Texas
Because
A&M,
I
for
think they both do with a win.
sure. Yeah.
They could.
And they also jump SMU if SMU loses to Miami.
What's the other game you said?
Um,
Besides Texas A&M, what's the other game?
South Carolina beats Clemson, and Clemson is currently ranked 15.
That'd be a good win.
And South
for
Carolina is
them.
ranked 16.
Gamecocks.
So that's only a four ranking jump for a ranked win. So that's not a lot.
It's not. Yeah.
There's definitely a path there.
No, I agree. Probably with both of those games, I agree. With a win, they get in.
Shoot, I'll be honest, I'm kind of over Indiana
Yeah,
at
they
this
fraudulent.
point. Like,
They
don't get me
are
wrong.
fraudulent.
It was a cute story. It's over now.
I have a lot of respect for what Kurt Signetti did, kind of building this program through the transfer portals, through James Madison players, his former school, but I think they proved with how they played at Ohio State that they were schedule merchants. And honestly, I'm so upset now that Michigan didn't beat them in that game, because Michigan in the second half absolutely dominated. They just got too far behind and, weren't able to catch up. But Indiana, I would not cry a single tear if they didn't make the CFP.
Are you ready for Alabama to be in the playoff?
No.
Well, they're going to be.
Yeah, they're going to be for sure.
That's they got nutted on by Oklahoma. Oklahoma.
It don't matter though. It's the brand, man.
They scored 3 freaking
Well,
points.
they did get a touchdown taken off by a terrible call when
That's
they
fine.
had all the momentum and would have had a chance to at least make the game closer than it was. But I do see what you're saying, but they're Alabama. They're going to get in. They're Alabama.
They lost to a better Vanderbilt team than some in the past, but still a Vanderbilt team that's going to be 6-6.
You know how logic goes in some of these cases. They expanded to 12, in my opinion, so that they could, in some of these instances, do what they're going to do. I believe that the top 4 becomes something that's a lot more scrutinized. And less of the, we're just going to give it to Alabama. In this case, when you expand to 12, you get the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
That would make me. I'd rather have Indiana in over Alabama. I don't even care.
Yeah.
I don't even care.
Come on now.
Hey, any other
They gotta make money at the
takeaways
end
from
of
the
the day.
college football playoff?
I genuinely question if the committee actually watches the games.
That's fair.
Probably no.
No, they probably
Like
don't.
I hate to be like that honest, but the way that these rankings are week by week, I just don't see anything that's constant. They doesn't change. They don't respect the teams enough for how they're playing at this current state, and then they just completely they devalue NAU for Notre Dame, but they value their win against Texas A&M, who Texas A&M is playing a completely different quarterback and have been playing way better since they switched quarterbacks. There's no consistency with the committee.
Yeah.
They don't even have like a set of I don't want to say rules. That's not the right requirements to make the playoff. Standards consistently.
And Justin, not to defend them at all, but I mean, how can they when this year is literally the Wild West, bro? There's no dominant teams. There's no real dominant blue bloods like it normally is. It's got to, not to say it's hard for the committee, but in a year like this where there are no standout teams, like what are you supposed to do?
I don't know, man. I have no problem with Notre Dame getting in if they run the table. Obviously,
well, I have no problem with them getting in, but I have problems with them being 6th.
Right.
I have problems with them, with their fan base trying to say that they should be over Penn State, which I'm the biggest Penn State hater you will meet.
Right.
They're a first-round exit. Don't even get me started on them. I don't even care who they play, except if they play Indiana. Except if they play Indiana. Anyone else, they lose.
No, but Northwestern, my bad. Notre Dame had by far the worst loss of the season. Not even close. But they have, to their credit, ran the table. The Florida State game was not as hard as anybody anticipated because Florida State is absolute trash. But then again, the Army game was probably more difficult.
Shout out Neil Rule, but I don't value Army in the actual blue bloods and like teams that mean something in college football. Like, yes, they're a cute story. They can be ranked 25, but like
You can give them their attention, but
they're probably not even a top 25 team right
Justin,
now.
you're 100% right. I agree with you.
I support our troops. I love Army. I love the Army-Navy game. I'm going to get cooked on Big D Energy again for saying this, but I don't care. Army shouldn't be 25, and they are only there because they're the Army.
The reality of the situation is both the service academy schools had a chance to beat Notre Dame and put their mark on the season, and they both got blowed the F out.
Severely.
Shout out to Tyler Roy, $9.99 super chat. He says, I love Woodward Sports. This is a shout out. These behind the scenes with the video and the audio. As a country artist, I appreciate my sound guys. Pistons are making the playoffs, Kool-Aid.
Hey,
shout out to
Tyler
you, Tyler
Roy.
Roy. Thank you, man, for the support. Multiple super chats today and this week.
Go.
Shout out to the chat family.
I love that more brothers is becoming country singers. I think he a brother, man. But shout out to you, Tyler, man. We appreciate you, man.
There's a few people in the chat, Kool-Aid, who throughout the show were just kind of tossing in some of the stuff they're thankful for. I've been trying to keep a note of it. Just want to hit on a few of those.
Ahead, bro.
Can I say one more thing about college football? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that do Justin, and then Chase, take it away from Mailbag.
The fact that Travis Hunter isn't a finalist for the best cornerback in the country is absolutely criminal, and I don't know who votes or picks that, but watch some fucking college football, please. I've been trying not to swear, but watch some damn college football. Travis Hunter is a lockdown corner and the best cornerback in the country. I don't even care.
I think Will Johnson's better. At corner. Not at a football player, but at corner.
Well, you have to play the game to actually be considered for the award, and he hasn't played the games.
That's fine. I'm not saying he should be a Thorpe Award finalist. I'm saying Will Johnson's a better corner.
Not this year.
Not this
because
year
he didn't
at
play.
all. Like, I get it, though.
I'm sure you're one of those people.
Go ahead, Chase.
Come
No,
on.
I love Will Johnson, man, but
Thank you for your
he just
patience.
hasn't had it this year, man. He's made plays, but Travis Hunter is the best college player in the country.
I wouldn't mad if Ashton
I'm
JT
sure
got
Will
the
Johnson and
Heisman.
Travis Hunter are going to be very thankful for where they go in the NFL draft in the spring. Meanwhile, in the chat, Dale says they live in South Carolina. They're thankful they have the Woodward Sports Network crew to get their Michigan sports fix in.
Yeah, right.
Also, Dale says they met Sam at a Tigers game. K8 Press is thankful for their relationship with God. They're thankful for their birthday today, their health, and their family. Happy birthday to you, K8 Press. Hope you celebrate well. Mata in the chat is thankful for Woodward. Got to keep up with their Michigan sports and Detroit sports living out of state. Our guy Mike G in the chat, he's thankful for Crystal with an X putting weight on everything.
Of course.
And screaming when she exhales. He's thankful for Maz, his love of horses, his love of O.J. Simpson, Brett Favre, and Joe Namath. He kind of spread those out, but I thought it'd be fun to combine them. And then Brandon Garland, he's thankful for Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Brad Holmes says, God bless our coaches for Woodward Sports, and everyone has a blast. Everyone have a blast here. So thank you. I'm sure there's more people in the chat. Sorry we didn't get to get it to everybody, but appreciate you guys' active participation, and hope you guys continue to have a great day.
And we will not be wearing the throwback uniforms on Thanksgiving. We will be wearing the blueberries.
Yeah. Hey, I'm with it.
That's what's up.
I like
When are they going to wear it? They only broke out the black jerseys for one night?
I like the throwbacks.
I mean, we did a lot of losing in them throwbacks.
I'm an old man,
I don't hate them, but we did a lot of losing in them.
Busters now, man.
I would have rather them gone with the throwbacks over the blueberries, but I'm still the black jerseys on. New tradition of kicking ass on Thanksgiving in the black jerseys would have just been
I got a feeling the Bills, they might, who knows, man.
Yeah,
Maybe
the
they
black
catch
jerseys is too fire to only wear them once, man. I know they're going to break them out again, but it's like,
wear them
why
in
not
the
break 'em out
playoffs
now.
I mean, we have another
ones I
primetime
like.
game next Thursday, too.
Oh, if they make the Super Bowl, can they wear the black jerseys there? No. Stipulations.
Yeah, they can. No, they can.
Yeah,
they
the
can.
Rams, the year
Where
the Rams
them
made the
mugs
Super
there?
Bowl with Jared Goff, they wore those alternates. Those weren't their
That's
set
right.
standard uniforms.
Yeah, like,
That's
why
fair.
not? Why not?
What up, though, KG?
But shout out J Hart, Feldman Mailbag. MC DC stated conversations were had about moving E-Man to the nickel and bumping Meek to the outside, which should limit reps for Vildor! Exclamation point. Thoughts?
Good.
Yeah, I mean,
Trust in Aaron
I'm
Glenn.
not trying to continue to come up here and slander Kendall Vildor, but he has not played well. I would feel cool with Meek on the outside because he's played on the outside before. I mean, I know his size is kind of a factor, but overall, he's a physical corner. He can handle the outside role. And E-Man moving to nickel, I think that's cool as he starts to get his legs back. But
Yeah, Meek was good as an outside corner last year.
He
It
was,
just
yeah.
wasn't the role that was best for him on this team so far. But as injuries pile up, you don't want to see too much Vildor, unfortunately.
yeah.
Shout out to my
With all
guy.
due respect.
Shout out to my guy, Kendall Vildor.
Right, man. I ain't trying to continually slander
I'll tell you
him,
what,
but-
that meme of like a kid getting a Lions Vildor jersey and crying is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I need
Yeah,
to
man.
recreate that in like real life.
They also
I told you I got that coming for you.
they did one for Quentin Johnston too for like I got a Chargers jersey and then it's Quentin Johnston and then they cried. God, he had one of the worst games I've ever seen a wide receiver play on
Horrible,
Monday
man.
Night Football.
Somebody
Yeah,
put together
5
all
targets,
of his
0
highlights for the
catches.
season doing that. I'm just like, wow, he got this many easy drops. Like, it's not just that game, but through the season, he's definitely had a tough time with some drops, man.
And I love Justin Herbert and
Can't trust him, dog.
I can't trust Quentin
Can't trust
Johnston.
Quentin Johnson. Man. I saw one video when one guy was like, "Oh, he's throwing a Lab McConkey." No, like, you can't do it. And I'm just like, You got a point, but I feel it. And you want to trust in your guys and try and pick them up. I am sorry. He doesn't want to be picked up. Mike Willett, I remember you, my friend. He says,
Shout
I'm
out.
thankful I met Kool-Aid at a Tigers game earlier this year. I remember him, man. And as soon as he realized, like, at the sponsor event I was representing Woodward Sports, he was like, I'll watch you guys all the time. And so it was a really cool experience, man. Dope experience. He was talking to me about the things that he was about to get into with the game. So shout out to you, Mike Willett, and all the chat family that we've met in person.
Yeah.
I was just showing Chase the other day
Awesome
some of the
fans.
videos at some of the different events just through the years. And I'm like, man, it was so interesting during those times because we appreciate the chat family. And now you're here in person as well. So I appreciate all of you guys out there in chat world. Definitely.
It's a fact.
Feldman Mailbag, Island W. To the Michigan fans, do you think getting Underwood was the right move over getting a more proven Cam Ward type quarterback for a fraction of the money?
They're
You're
still
stuck
going
with
to get
Bryce
one.
if he busts.
They're still going to go after one. It's been reported that they have already allocated money in order to go after one. The one that's been linked to them the most is Miller Moss, but who knows about that? There's so much time before the transfer portal even becomes relevant in the college football space. But I would expect them to bring in a one-year placeholder and let Bryce Underwood learn for a year, sit for a year, and then play as a sophomore. Or even they play Davis.
Do you think? Well, I think Davis might transfer, but do you think they can do that? Because
They might
this
Cade.
guy.
They might do the Cade with the Cade McNamara thing with Davis.
Michigan has done this. And if you're talking about getting back to your Michigan roots in the new era, then you use the era to placate that. I expect them, if they have to shell out the money to make sure they got their quarterbacks right, to do that.
Yeah,
They
you
have
paid
to.
them a lot of money. I mean, you can redshirt them. That's an option, but I just don't know, man. You paid them a lot of money to make an impact for this team. I think you got to start.
I mean, they might even just bring in someone who's had the tenure who could start if they need him to.
Yeah,
but
I can see that more.
They could imagine they bring in someone like Curtis Rourke, Indiana's quarterback, to be a placeholder to teach Bryce Underwood how to play college football, and then you let Bryce Underwood take over.
Chase is over there hating though. You hate on Chase's face.
I think it's funny that you'd spend $12 million for a quarterback to come in for 4 years, and you're already within a week talking about bringing in another guy.
Oh, I've been saying that since before. I want them to get back to their roots. I want to hear the fans of Michigan arguing over which great quarterback should be the one starting.
Did I miss when the great teams of college football had multiple great quarterbacks? Did I miss when Alabama had Mac Jones, Jalen Hurts, and Tua on their roster?
You gotta have an insurance policy.
I'm not sure, no offense to Bryce Underwood, but mobile quarterbacks have a higher rate of getting hurt than non-mobile quarterbacks. And I'm not trying to get left in the dust because my quarterback gets hurt and I'm sitting there with my hands on my ankles because Michigan doesn't have a quarterback to compete for a natty.
Chase, dog.
Y'all just do
Chase,
It just sounds like scared money to me, man.
Hey, it's not scared money when you got unlimited money.
When he just
Let's
lit
go,
the whole
baby.
bale of money on fire, and they're just like, "Why are you doing that?" Because I want to.
It's okay.
This is like, I love Chase, dog. Feldman Mailbag, Charles McClain. If Pistons win this in-season tournament, are they guaranteed a spot in the postseason, no matter if their record is not good enough to get in?
No.
No, the in-season tournament.
That'd be dope.
Yeah,
right.
Nice.
But it has its own trophy that they give to the team.
It'd be a good look though.
Stat-wise, this is from Randall Smalls, Feldman Mailbag. Stat-wise, has the Lions' defense been better without Hutch?
I mean,
comparable, at least.
Should we cut him then, Rando?
You know that was one for you, probably.
Oh yeah, it was definitely one for me.
Cut him then. Let me see here. Yashawn Judah, Feldman Mailbag. Who will have more rushing yards in the Eagles versus Ravens game this weekend? Henry or Barkley?
Oh, the Eagles and the Ravens play this weekend? Wow.
That's interesting. That's a good question. Ooh.
Nah, Saquon for the win. Saquon for the win. That Ravens
you just
defense.
Go with your fantasy running back.
Well, yes. Yes, I am.
Times 3.
Hey, shout out.
4 weeks worth of punishment.
Hey, shout out, man. Don't be mad. It's okay. But
I'm impressed. The freak.
No, that
I'm a Saquon
best
fan.
fantasy pick I've made. But I mean, no, I just think that Ravens defense has not been up to par, man. And Saquon is on a stretch right now, unlike we've seen in a while, man. He is going crazy. Do I think he'll get to 200 on the Ravens? No, but I could definitely expect him to get over 100, maybe around the 125 range, and probably a tutty.
I can see that 125 in the tutty. As you said, the Ravens defense has not been that great down the stretch, and the offense actually starts off pretty slow sometimes with Lamar Jackson. So it's going to take them at least that halfway through the first quarter or the second quarter before they actually start to get rolling. But I still think the Ravens pull this one off.
Hey, and just one more from Dante151 for our booth. KG and JB, you guys ready for AEW tonight? It's the Continental Tournament tonight. Also, Indiana has a 106th ranked schedule, and Texas A&M and South Carolina have harder schedules.
Yeah. Still got to catch up on AEW, man. I'm behind, man. Been dealing with a lot of shit outside of here, but I do look forward to catching up to AEW, man. I still ain't watched Full Gear yet, man. I got to catch up.
You still ain't watched Full Gear?
Nah, man. It's been a busy week, man. Busy week.
Oh, yeah. I got to catch up as well, too. What'd you say, Chase?
I said they brought the boom. Wasn't that a Full Gear, JB?
No.
Yeah, right. What?
Are you talking about the Rizzler?
Yeah, talking about AJ and Justice.
I don't follow that guy. Like, I feel like it's just
I don't follow him
ridiculous
either, but isn't that their whole gimmick?
Yes.
He just a little chubby kid with some facial expressions. I don't get the Rizzler thing either.
I don't get it. What is with this kid? But whatever. I got to catch up on AEW as well, too, especially NXT as well. But I still want to see what happens with Moxley and Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin tonight.
Man.
It's a double chocolate cookie.
Right.
The Rizzler. Let me rizz you up a little bit.
Right. Let me
what
rizz
is
you up
this?
a little bit. Hey, is that a Thanksgiving show?
Yes.
Well, Thanksgiving show.
Yes.
Hey, because we're not going to see you guys as it relates to Wake Up Woodward tomorrow. You will see some of us with the Lions coverage for tomorrow's Lions game. But we hope that you all enjoy your Thanksgiving and that is a blessing for you guys this holiday season. Obviously, we all shoulder a lot of ups and a lot of downs as the year goes on, but I'm hoping this is a time where you guys can have just a blessed one with family, friends, food, and a Detroit Lions victory. To you guys in the room here at Wake Up Woodward, as well as to you, chat family. So thank you guys for supporting the WUW Crew. Hey, get this thing going. Hey, that's the chest pass, and we'll break this thing down. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder. I know he kicks things off bright and early tomorrow with Woodward and Main Street. Lions gonna definitely feast on some bear for Thanksgiving. Let's break this thing all the way down. We got Cavassier Chase in the building. What up, though, brother?
Hey, what up, though? Hope you guys continue to have a great day. Stay tapped in throughout, the rest of this Wednesday, getting ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow. Just want to say shout out to the chat again, and I'll run through some names. Just say, just remind some people who we're thankful for continuing to participate every day. Vincent E, Steve Lehman, 14 Grit, Mike G, Sky Dog, Dante151,
Just
Xavier
a Fan,
D,
Chuck Brewer.
Yeah, all you guys. I mean, like everyone here in the chat.
IT
we got
Hips.
we got over like almost 400 people here. And I appreciate all you guys. So I just want to say shout out to you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for asking a friend, telling a friend, bringing them in, and joining the family with us.
That's
So,
right.
Continue to hopefully make it grow some more, and hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. So shout out to you guys.
Thanksgiving is the perfect time to definitely spread that Woodward sports cheer, especially if you're tapped into the watch party. Share it with a family member or a friend. That dude, Justin. What up, though? Once again, thankful to have you in studio this entire week, man. What up, though?
Hey, I'm thankful for you guys, and I'm thankful to go get roasted on Big D Energy from 11 to 1. So make sure you tap into that, and I'll see you there.
Tap into Big D Energy, Ermanni and Edwards, and Woodward Heavyweights. Hey, for this elite, wonderful, magnificent, stupendous, great, I'm talking about better than the rest. If you x-ray their chest, it's only dogs in there. When you're talking about great, I hear people talk about Jared Goff. That's how I feel about these guys. I'm talking about awe-inspiring. I'm talking about sublime.
Okay.
I'm talking about remarkable.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Get me hype in this bitch.
prodigious,
What up?
Miraculous. Formidable.
Yeah.
Imposing. Come on, dog. Let's wake up, Woodward. What are we without this elite booth? In the sound booth, Detroit's #1 draft pick. That is KG, a.k.a. Black Hollywood. Thankful for you, brother.
That'll do, Kool-Aid.
Let's go.
You done missed me for the whole week. Just make up for the whole week,
Let's
man.
go.
All right, all right.
Look, like a bar king, I was like, all right, we're going to write this thing out.
I would have respected it more if it was a freestyle. But nah, I'm talking shit. But you my guy, man. Shout out to my team. I'm very thankful for y'all, man. I can't do this with better people, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I saw the love from like IT Hip, Steve Lehman, Elena. Sorry if I mispronounced that, and others in the chat. Shout out to y'all, man, showing the love earlier in the show. And let's keep this shit rolling, man. Y'all have a safe holiday. Enjoy that good food, man, and enjoy that Lions victory. Forward down the field.
Let's go. Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. That is JB Smooth. What up, though, brother?
Big breasts.
Jumbo boobies.
Hey, shout out to all you guys in the chat. Everyone here in studio as well, too. Everyone, enjoy Thanksgiving. Have a safe and happy holiday. Enjoy time with your family. And, hey, as KG said, enjoy this Lions victory as well tomorrow, too, because you know what's going to happen.
I guaranteed it. yesterday on Big D.
Let's go.
Guarantee it a Lions victory.
Hey, somebody I'm very thankful for. The vet of the squad, the vet of the network. Somebody who's advocated for us. Somebody who before he had even this seat, which is somebody in the trenches, had really some of the early parts of Woodward Sports.
Oh, yeah.
That is Sam Reynolds, a.k.a. you may know him by Flannel Sam, Flannel Angelo, Frederico Polo, Hoodie Flannel. It's just the characters, they continue to grow. But
Hey.
I know him as a brother, and I'm grateful that you are at Woodward Sports and that we have you as a brother.
Kool-Aid, you forgot the best one, man. It's the holiday season. Big Musket. Go!
God, who is Michigan player today? Xavier Musketeer.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Xavier.
It's like the worlds have collided today.
Big Musket.
Cannot lose tonight. But speaking of which, and
Can't lose when the musket's watching.
nope, cannot. And this is just my final plea. There's a lot of things going on, but the one thing that I really want to happen is keep Alabama out of the MF and college football playoff. Go lose to Oklahoma again and score 3 points. Go lose to Vanderbilt again. Why don't you?
Flannel Sam, boy. Telling y'all the more things change, the more things stay the same.
I do like Ryan
Redmond
Williams, though. He's a stud.
correspondent.
Damn,
All
you went
sports hour.
from Colorado being in the playoff to Alabama. You just can't win.
Right?
If Colorado's in the playoff, I might die. But it's because the Big 12 is ass.
I'm praying for chaos.
The
Praying
Big
for
12 is
chaos
so
scenario.
bad.
I will laugh my
We need
ass
Deion in the
off.
playoff.
If Arizona beats Arizona State and Colorado backdoors their way into the Big 12 title game, I will be on a generational run in the group chat.
Cam Scattaboo rushed for 150 and 3 touchdowns. Dude's a stud.
Shout out Prime.
Hey, you know what? I'll end it right here. Raymond German. BTA and FTB, what up, though? That's how I'm
Know
feeling.
what it
That's
is?
the energy that we're all on. I'm telling you, people going to be eating Thanksgiving tomorrow knowing it's about the Detroit Lions. Unfortunately, more than family. I mean, it's a Super Bowl. Expect that. We're fans learning how to be fans of a Super Bowl. Expect the same. No, families matter more than anything, and I love my family. It's your boy Brandon, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer for the network. This has been a great show. Gave you guys some overtime today, and it's been awesome. Every single show, we're thankful and we are grateful for the support you guys give. Share it with somebody. Smash that like button. If you generally don't, and you're just a listener, today, hey, take the time to do so. But also have a great day. Have a happy holiday. Go Lions. Go Woodward Sports. Go Chat Family.